Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Bust with the Boys, episode 344 with Jason Kelce. Now, if you are a tier one of this show and you watch us every single week, I need you to stick around for this intro because we have a whole lot of updates going into the NFL season and college football season. If you're a New Heights fan, a Taylor Swift fan, if you're a Swiftie in general, you love Travis Kelce, you love New Heights, and you're here for the very first time, we do a lot of breakdown on what happened this last college football weekend. If you're not feeling that, you can go to the time codes, check them boys out, and you can see right when that Jason Kelce episode drops. I apologize to you if you don't like the intro, but boys, we just love football that much. We get into it. We get in the weeds, all the biggest games this week, our thoughts, our opinions, Arch Manning, the whole thing. Now, BWTV.com, we have new merch coming out. Please subscribe, unsubscribe, and resubscribe to this YouTube channel if you're watching because it helps us. The show is free for a reason, and it just lets us get more access and more ability to give you guys more. Big hugs, tiny kisses. Again, thank you for watching Bussin' with the Boys.
All right, we're good.
Be like, Bussin' with the boys, hanging with the fellas, betting on a game. No woman's gonna tell us what to do, and I've been over here just drinking beer and making that noise. Baby, I'm hanging with the fellas, bussin' with the boys.
Bro.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Bussin' with the Boys. It is week one of the NFL season, about to be week two of college football. Bust with the Boys is strongly, beautifully, powerfully presented by FanDuel Sportsbook, America's #1 sportsbook. That's Will Compton cracking himself a little can there. 2 more days, fellas. It was a long spring. It's been a long summer, but we finally made it. This Thursday night, the NFL season officially begins. And Thursday night on FanDuel are going to be special thanks to $2 million jackpot available every week. Let me say that again to you. $2 million jackpot available every week. Here's how it works. You'll opt in and place an anytime touchdown score bet on that night's NFL game using your profit boost. If your player scores the first or last touchdown of the game, you'll earn a share of $2 million in bonus bets. First touchdown, money. Last touchdown, money. Both, I'm just going to let you know right now, you're getting a little bit greedy. Just one more reason to bet the NFL on Thursday Night Football with FanDuel, but that's not all. But that is not all. The jackpot, baby.
No.
That is not all. The boys, if you're wondering who the boys are, that's myself, that's Will Compton, that's the boys in the back, have a brand new stream room. And we'll be going live every Thursday night so you guys can tune into our plays in real time. So we will have a whiteboard. We will tell you, the viewer, this is what we're betting. This is what we're writing. Sometime you'll have a house divided. Other times you will have a group of individuals all going for the same one. It's going to be a great time. We're talking picks, parlays, maybe the occasional giveaway courtesy of FanDuel. Let me give you that one more time. We're talking picks, parlays, and maybe, possibly, weekly occasional giveaways courtesy of FanDuel. And of course, we'll keep tabs on touchdown jackpot every single week. So whether you're riding with our picks or cooking up your own, make Thursday night count. Head to FanDuel.com/bus and download the app and join the boys every Thursday for some NFL action. Boys, let's get a round of applause for the NFL being back. We have waited. We got ourselves a taste this weekend, though. Mitchie boy, say what people want to say about you and your fandom. Your teams want to know. Yep. Chef, Jack, congratulations. Not only did you guys win, you also covered. I'm sure you guys are feeling very, very excited. 2-0. JP got a little squirrely in the second quarter, third quarter. Got a little squirrely, but what happened? Beamer ball, baby. Put the hands on their throats, choked them out, wait for the bubbles to stop under the water. 3-0. Will Compton didn't cover, but won the game. Dylan Raiola, 80% completion, over 250 yards. He had a touchdown. The boys look good. The ball bounced their way, 4-0. And if you're wondering, Michigan, we officially have the forward pass. Now, I do want to have a moment of silence for our boy Garrett. This bus, people sitting in this bus right now, we are 5-1. Please take your hats off. Please respect this man. Alabama may or may not be dead. We'll get to that in a moment.
R.I.P. Bama.
Thank you. A lot of optimism on this bus, but let's start.
Oh, yeah, there is.
We'll start with the bad news first. G, go ahead and grab that mic.
Hang on, should we do some housekeeping? Talk about some changes with the show, where they're going to start seeing us in the future, how the weeks are going to break down.
That's the thing, Will. That's so beautiful about you is I'm getting all hyped up about
Excited.
recapping the weekend.
Football's
I'm excited.
in full swing.
And for you to rein me in and bring me back, I can't thank you enough for that. Go ahead.
You mentioned the stream room. The
Yeah.
stream room is going to be active every Thursday night football and then some occasional college football games. You're going to see the boys, everybody you see on the bus. Clay Matthews is going to be joining, Delaney Walker. Hopefully we get some special guests along the way, but the boys will be gambling our asses off with FanDuel.
Responsibly.
Streaming responsibly. And I will be getting that $2 million jackpot. Another update with the show. Our weeks are going to look a little different now. We're going to move this intro that you see for everybody tuning in for Jason Kelce, wondering if you're a tier 1, you know how the show works. We do about an hour and a half intro, recapping football, recapping weekends, life, everything in between. Then we get to the interview in the back half of the episode. So the Jason Kelce interview is on the back half of this episode. What we are going to be doing moving forward, since we are recapping the college football weekend and not miss out on the 24 hours, we know you guys need it. We know you're itching for it. We're going to take our intro portion where we are talking all ball, recapping the weekends. Our new Bussin, it'll be like a Bussin recap show. That'll be dropping on Mondays. That will be dropping on Mondays because as we record right now, it is Monday morning. We'll be recording the episode, all of our football talk, and releasing it later in the day, sometime in the afternoon on Mondays. Tuesday will be the evergreen interviews that we do. So Jason Kelce, every guest that we have on Bussin' with the Boys, you'll have a very quick, very swift intro for all. Where's the interview? You guys talk way too much. Guess what? Now you're going to have the evergreen interview. That will be our Bussin' with the Boys. That will be every Tuesday still. Locker Room, you got For the Dads, that drops Wednesday morning. You got the Locker Room College Football Show with Josh Pate. As you guys know, dropping every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Thursday morning, NFL Locker Room with Clay Matthews, Delaney Walker, and the boys you're looking at. That'll be on Thursday mornings. Am I missing anything for Friday as we talk about the schedule?
And the Bus from the Boys universe, no, but you can also find Bus from the Boys every Thursday morning in New York City for Get Up with ESPN.
That's right. ESPN, I forgot about that.
Tough to forget about the leader in sports.
I know. And what does that mean? It means that Bussin' with the Boys is still going to be Bussin' with the Boys.
We're sold out. We're done.
Yeah. We sold our entire show to ESPN.
Yep, they own our IP. We're no longer allowed to curse. This is it, boys. Starting next week, suits and ties only. We'll have, there's going to be a dress code in Bussin' with the Boys.
Yes. Well said.
Thank you.
The boys have fully sold out.
But
nothing will be changing with Bussin' with the Boys. What happened was ESPN identified the boys. We would love to have these two cats on every Thursday morning with Mike Greeny going over who knows what. Probably Thursday night football, probably weekend stuff, hopefully talking about our teams, Michigan and Nebraska. But we will be in front of your face every Thursday morning on Get Up on ESPN. That is the partnership that we're doing with them. Spots on SportsCenter. Hopefully we get to make our way in, with some college game day here and there, some access.
A little
on the
first
weekends,
take, see the GOAT, Stephen A. Tell him, hey, what's going on? Hopefully he Stephen A's me at one point.
Yes.
Or he just verbally assaults me. I sit there and I go, I got nothing. Get me out of here.
Yeah.
Right?
Would love that.
Would love
that. But they contracted out the boys as mercenaries to be a part of the ESPN team, and that'll be every Thursday morning on Get Up with Mike Greeny.
Right.
Friday mornings Inside the Bus. You forgot that part.
Friday mornings inside the bus. You're a fan of Inside the Bus. You love all the lore, all things Bussin'. You love the boys in the back. Inside the Bus drops on Friday morning. We got a full slate. We got full weeks here at Bussin' HQ. It's going to be a hell of a year. We're going to have a lot of fun.
It's going to be awesome.
Make sure to correct us because we'll forget stuff that we have to do at times.
No doubt.
I believe there will be a TV guide graphic that will go out every Sunday night just telling you about the programming for Bussin' with the Boys each and every week. So we've moved a few things around. We've shifted some things. We've joined the ESPN to do stuff with them. We got our fall tour. We got the Bussin' Bowl on September 20th, Michigan, Nebraska.
Live show September 19th at the Rococo Theater. If you want to get tickets to that, go to bwtb.com. Bang, you can get them right there. There's only a few left.
Boom.
Also, you can RSVP for a tailgate. Is that correct? And we're on the street there. I don't know if there's a number you can actually have a ceiling on that. Seems like the numbers are getting higher and higher. We're in 4 figures right now, I believe. Right around or right above 4 figures. Am I right in saying that? It doesn't just say yes no matter what.
Yes.
Hell yeah, boys. Hell yeah. It's going to be a hell of a day. It's going to be a great time regardless of Will and I and the anger we'll have towards each other or the rival we will have towards each other. It's going to be fun. We got all the boys going to be out there. We're going to have a blast at that live show. We're going to have a blast at the game.
Be Will's birthday too.
It'll be Will's
It is my
birthday.
birthday weekend.
Birthday
September
spankings if you
19th.
see Will at the tailgate.
Yep, Will will be
Oh my
lined
God,
up. We'll put him in one of
please
those
don't say
medieval
that,
ones where
dude.
his head and his hands are plugged in there.
Oh,
And we'll just
God.
have a Michigan paddle. We'll
The
just give
fucking-
him.
You'll have to get that cat that was wearing the 51 jersey at Arrowhead that was just spanking my back.
Yeah, buddy. How is your back after the weekend?
It's, I had a couple lulls, but I'm feeling good today.
Because when we got to Columbus, I heard you. It was like a fleeting comment as we're headed back from that amazing Italian spot we went to, Italian steakhouse.
Yes.
We were like, I got to hit the routine. My back's getting a little tight.
Yes. Got on top of the mobility routine when I got back to the hotel. Got up, did a workout Saturday morning. The weekend's kind of a blur. Stayed on top of it all weekend. I do feel good right now.
Good. That
I
makes
do
me
feel
happy.
good right now. Oh, also, another iteration of the show. We want to include you guys more. We're going to take our tier talk that we've been doing where we do lists. We haven't even been the most consistent with it, honestly.
No, we haven't. But it's a foundational piece of Bus with the Boys. I think it was our first segment ever.
Yeah, foundational piece of shout out, no free shout out.
Shout out, no free shout out.
Back to
And then
doing
the tier
those.
talk. Those are the two.
But Tier Talk, we are including you guys. So as you're watching the show on YouTube, and if you are tuned into the boys right now, just make sure to subscribe to the boys. It's free for you. It helps us out immensely.
Mm-hmm.
If you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple, just hit the follow button. But we're going to start including you guys into the show. All you have to do is use hashtag Tier Talk, and we will be featuring you guys on the show, whether it's sports, whether it's life, whether it's takes, opinions, conversation starters, whatever it is. We will feature you guys on the show, talk about a few things. If you use the hashtag Tier Talk in the comments on social media, we'll try to screen grab those, but we want to include you guys. We want to talk to our audience a lot better than we have been.
And that will be on the Monday portion of the show, correct?
Yes.
Intro Monday. So you have questions about the NFL on Sunday. Boom. Hashtag Tier Talk with your question. Bing, bang, boom. The boys will pick it up. We'll give you the answer right there. Saturday, your college football team. Are they dead? Are they alive? Are they going to be amazing? Hashtag Tier Talk with that question. Monday, we'll get those questions answers for you guys.
Yeah. Or
So-
if you simply have a take like celery is a necessity.
Seller is a
Hashtag
necessity.
Tier Talk.
Hashtag Heisman frontrunner. Hashtag do we believe that?
But we're
I believe
including
that
you
since he was
guys.
a freshman.
Yeah, we're including you
In
guys
high
a lot
school.
more. And
In high school.
it's going to be a hell of a year.
It's going to be a hell of a year, man.
Dive
So,
into
yeah.
the weekend.
Housekeeping, yes. But I like to, let's get the bad out of the way. I think we need to get the bad out of the way.
Yeah.
Alabama, the Crimson Tide. I think Nick Saban, I don't know the exact stat, but it's 200 and something games.
230.
230 games. Nick Saban was 230-4 against unranked teams at Alabama. DeBoer, he comes in, he's 10-4 against unranked teams. Garrett, this is not meant to cut deep, but is Alabama dead?
This is the biggest headline coming out of college football
Yeah,
weekend.
this is the biggest headline coming out of college football.
It's week one.
If not Arch Manning.
That's two.
That's another one. We'll get to that.
Yeah, yep.
It's week one. I don't think we're dead. I think we have to look in the mirror and figure out what we want our identity to be. Because to your point, 230-4, we're paying for that right now.
Yeah.
We're paying for that right now. Johnny Manziel said it. When you get off the bus at Alabama, it used to be feared. That's gone. So you got to figure out what your new identity is and change it right now. If you don't beat the brakes off of ULM, Wisconsin kind of looks like a game now when it shouldn't be. It's
Yeah.
a home game, so
Yeah.
you hope that you get it corrected. In a weird way, when I rewatched the game yesterday, there's a few moments that if we just have better discipline and don't drop the football, I do think we find a way to win that game.
Mm-hmm.
But those are key moments that you have to have, and those are usually where Alabama succeeds. You catch the important ball, you make the tackle, you don't have a dumb penalty late.
Discipline team.
So
What is your opinion or your thoughts on the effort shown in the game? Because there are a lot of times where you see loafing happening.
18.
Very uncharacteristic of an Alabama football team.
yeah, for sure. I think it starts there. The effort is not there. I watched every other game the rest of the weekend, and every team, no matter what level of play they're at, played way harder, played way nastier, and had way more swagger than we showed after that first drive. Even after the first drive that we went down 8 minutes, 16 plays, ended in 7, I saw like 4 people on the field celebrate together. Can't have that.
Can't have it.
Can't have that.
Can't have
Effort's there. Chef and I talked about it this morning. That's the number one thing is effort. Do you want to fucking step on the field and represent the A, or do you think that you just get to step on the field because you have the A on?
Yeah, you don't. Your program being that historic and have that much stuff going on for it, you have to uphold the culture and tradition. You can't just put the jersey on and expect to be great all of a sudden. You got to finish.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They got to figure out what their identity is because it's clear that it's not the same. Even though you still have some guys that were in the locker room when Saban was there, they can't do it for everyone on the field. But you have to find your own identity because you get out physical, that's your bread and butter, has always been. So you got to find something else. That means no errors and scoring every time we have the fucking ball.
Yeah, I mean, scoring every time he has the ball.
Florida State showed up to fucking play.
Yeah.
Hey, props to him.
Tony White, both the corner, you got Gus on offense.
Crushed it.
Tony White on defense. Like, they came to fucking play, bro. Quarterback talking shit and backing it up.
All the
backing
respect
it up.
to them.
They don't have an answer for me. Said that in the spring.
They came out and talked their talk, walked their
Thomas
walk.
Castellanos.
Yeah.
I think Mike Norvell found himself a good situation in bringing in Gus. It takes a lot of pressure off of him because now you have two head coaches that have had success on your sideline. Not only do you add your defensive coordinator who fucking schemed up a crazy game, but they have juice and they played like they wanted it, and we did not do that, and that's what happens.
Terrence Knight, the D-line coach, he tweets after the game, y'all need to pick a fucking side.
No, the tweet after the game was Gus. Felt
Him
like
too, felt like
old times tonight.
You were talking about how he set up that reverse 4 plays in advance.
Yeah, that drive where they had the reverse for the touchdown. Three separate times or 4 separate times during that drive, they used a similar motion every time with the guard and tackle pulling to figure out what the eyes were going on. Because they would, every time they would run that jet sweep across, safety would go up to the middle and then the other safety would come down, and then everybody would flow. The two linebackers would flow with the guard and tackle. They saw it, they did it multiple times, and they capitalized on it. I mean, it just,
they got outplayed,
it's
out-coached,
so coming out of the college football world that I came into. It is so weird to see the Crimson Tide be outcoached. And it's very odd. It seems like you guys are just in a thing where you guys like show up and expect to win because of the logo at this point, which is not good. You have uncharacteristic drops. I think one highlight you see is Ty Simpson. His athletic ability is a little more than we all kind of thought. Had the ability to get out of some stuff.
People that think it's Ty's fault are just wrong.
Yeah.
Ty played a great game. Ty maybe had like one throw that wasn't great, but he hit his targets. He extended plays.
Right.
And Jeremy Bernard was the only skill position player I saw give any effort.
I know, man. I was a little disappointed in Ryan Williams not showing up.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. Hopefully the injury and everything's all right. There was a part of me that thought he was tapping out there in the second half.
I think he got a little shell shock for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, he got hit a couple times. You know, you don't ever want to say like you wish you could have a call, but do we think that was targeting? I think it was iffy. I think that it was probably
the one where Ryan went down.
Yeah.
I felt like it was more friendly fire than anything.
Well, so I think Ryan got hit in the back and then it led to him get hit kind of high. I think it was the right call. But in that moment, that just adds to their momentum. Because Earl Little was an Alabama player, transferred to Florida State. It made it personal. He made it personal all game.
Yeah.
Bro, it was
Castellanos.
college football.
That,
and the big thing too is when you're in that when you're in the meeting room, when you're in the locker room, and the world is on fire right now for the University of Alabama. But another thing that is going to be said is nobody gives a fuck about you guys being in disarray.
right.
The world, if anything, loves it.
Yeah.
Alabama's
outside
enjoyed
Tuscaloosa.
the best of the best for decades. And it's going to be like, hey, we got to fix our shit. And I promise you, no one is going to feel sorry for you because nobody does. Everybody's like celebrating.
That's what I'm saying. That 230-4, you're paying for it now.
Yep. 230-4. I mean, if you're born,
Could be a different era for you, G. One that you're not as used to.
Could be, or we could nip it in the butt.
True.
And get corrected.
One thing that's always
Right.
said, you're never as good as they say you are, and it's never as bad as they say you are.
that is
Ty
just
Simpson-
especially
figure it
after
out.
week one.
Yeah,
Ty
especially
Simpson
after
said we
week
can
one.
be as good as we want to be.
Yeah.
And you got to figure it out.
I was bookmarking a couple a couple tweets out there of Bama just losing their
Oh,
minds.
it's bad. Bama Twitter
Is it burning up
Bama
right now?
Twitter
Yeah,
is
that's the one I got.
entertaining.
Bear Bryant's burner. One of our largest boosters sent this to me. Take this as you will. And it says, spent time around the team hotel for 25 plus years. And I will tell you, DeBoer's tenure is much closer to Shula than Saban. Players are walking around at 1 to 1:30 in the morning getting DoorDash deliveries of fast food the night before games. I've seen players with random friends coming in and out of the hotel until 2 a.m. They couldn't get organized to leave the team hotel on time without confusion. As soon as I was around this, I could not get it out of my head because you could see it was an organization that looked second class by the way it was run. Since witnessing that last year, I have held hope, but my eyes, brain, and gut all told me this is going to be bad when being around it. That was one. Then you got another one where it seems like this dad, Ricky Green, he's got a son. For those that don't know it, I have a D1 prospect at center and my son, Andrew Duggan. It's really sad to have to question whether or not I'd send him to Alabama to continue his athletic academic journey. Should he have that opportunity? Never would have thought I'd have to. Question that as he kind of broke it into 2 tweets. Never would have thought I'd have to question that as a father. I was born into the world with crimson in my veins, and the current situation at UA is abysmal.
Yeah, I mean,
Just a couple I grabbed from the internet.
if those things
Well, the
are
craziest thing about that is the dad being like, I have a D1 prospect son. And if they were to offer, I think to myself, probably not. That is so fucking, that is wild.
if the hotel thing is true, that sucks. But that booster, he could have some power and change that really quick.
You can't change that as a booster. You're not sitting there.
He's the night watch.
He's scouting his boys.
Yeah.
He's got the hope. He's like, let me see how the organization
just sitting in a Lincoln Town car across the street with tinted windows with his glasses, binoculars on. They're like,
private
Taco
investigators
Bell, are you
snapping
kidding
photos
me right now? Yeah, that's bad, man. That's bad.
Yeah. I mean, if you do want laughs after a Bama loss, the internet is the place to be.
Yeah. Obviously, I think you guys are 2-1. Who do you guys play that 4th game? Who's your next big game?
We have Georgia after a bye. So
that's a judgment day for you guys.
Chef, can you go check that door?
You have ULM.
Huh?
You have ULM next week.
And then Wisconsin,
I think it's
you
my
said,
food.
right?
Wisconsin by Georgia.
Speaking of DoorDash, your food's here.
Yeah,
Speaking
that's
of Will
food
Compton, bad
delivery.
part of the bad culture of
That's
Alabama, man.
I ordered that.
A booster can't fix that. Money can't fix that. It's culture. It's coaching. Like
Yeah.
DeBoer, it's great to be the new age coach who, lets his guys be who they want to be. Similar to Kenny Dillingham. He lets his guys say what they want on the podium. They can go out and act however they want as long as they produce on the field. But when you have Alabama team who comes from like your shirt's tucked in, you don't get the flags, laundry on the field is nothing that's ever going to happen at Crimson Tide. A team that walks off, they pass the bus check like, holy shit, these are some big boys. And then also they're going to play disciplined football with high effort. That is what you want to see if you're a Crimson Tide fan. If you're born in a garden, baby, you're never going to understand the value of a flower. So it's time for you boys to figure it out in a big way.
Yeah, it's tough because you go from obviously having a coach that would motherfuck anybody for
Anything.
tying their shoe wrong. He's got to figure out a way to motherfuck these boys or someone's going to motherfuck him.
Yeah.
I think it's also as much important for the player leadership as it is for the coach, because
100%.
DeBoer could flip a switch and do his thing culture-wise, but if this is not a player-led team, this is a roster littered with 5-star athletes and talent everywhere, a lot of individual mindsets. The worst part of thinking on how bad this could be is you have a lot of guys who like play for themselves and they might just think, I'm going to bounce and go somewhere else. You've seen other guys do it. Guys go to Florida State, guys go to Syracuse, guys go to Nebraska, guys go to Michigan. They'll hit the portal and go somewhere else. But if this is not a player-led team, I could see it getting very bad fast at Bama.
You watch those old teams and your linebacking core with Reuben Foster, Ryan Anderson, and Tim Williams, they would never let this shit fly. You got to fear the guy next to you, and they got to figure out how to do that.
Yeah. There need to be some player team meetings.
Oh, yeah.
This week.
Yeah,
Because
I'm telling you, if guys are going home saying, "What the fuck was that, man? Coach should have called it." It's gonna get
You're lost.
That's gonna snowball.
Right.
I hate to like call out a single person, but the clip that went viral of 18's effort on that end around, if he is on the field on Saturday, I will be fucking furious
Bama Twitter.
because
He's leading the charge of Bama Twitter right now.
it proves the
If I
point.
see this man if I see this boy on the field
If he's on the
Saturday,
field, he doesn't deserve the right.
Proves the point that maybe we don't need a white safety back there.
whoa.
We don't need a white safety back there.
Maybe we don't.
They're making
Maybe
a
we
comeback.
don't.
White DB's making a comeback
G,
now.
you're emotional right now, and I understand
Pull
why.
that
gonna
boy.
be
Let me see him real
optimistic,
quick.
though.
Pull it. Click his profile.
Bray Hubbard,
Oh no, Bray.
which is crazy. He had a great year last year.
Bray Hubbard. That is the problem. Yep.
Yeah,
He drank
they-
his
they
own
gotta
Kool-Aid.
figure
He had
out
a
who
good
they
year
wanna
last
be.
year.
They got to correct it and go win the rest.
Yeah,
of them.
maybe you don't dress him against Yoel Monroe. Maybe say, hey, sit this one out.
Maybe I'll dress.
Yeah, put him in a cheerleading outfit. Be like, see what you want. You can cheer the team on. Maybe get ready for Wisconsin next week.
with everybody selling the Bama stock, are you buying it? Are you buying the stock? You buying them low because you think they're going to turn it around and get right?
It's a great question. I mean,
You know, after this week.
I don't think you know after this week. I don't think you know after that the week after that. I mean, I think Wisconsin, they're a team that's trying to refigure out their identity. UL Monroe, if that game's close, it's like you got to continue to sell the stock. Like you've got to now. You got American History
That
X, make
game's
them bite
close.
the
It
curb.
is over.
Yeah.
Like it's Georgia, Bama. That's the game where we're gonna find out what's Alabama really all about.
They
it's
have
in
a
Georgia.
juggernaut of a schedule.
Yeah.
I'm personally seeing 4 or 5 L's on this schedule after
Yeah.
seeing them against Florida
And
State.
this is week one, the perfect time to overreact. If you're a person that's breaking down,
It's the
any
best
games.
time over. It's the best part of college
time.
football.
It is the best time to overreact. But once we get to the Arch Manning conversation, I'm flipping the script a little bit. Yeah, I agree with Will. Like Georgia, you could see that being an L. Vanderbilt, you can see
Vanderbilt
that being an L. It seems
good.
like the kryptonite of Alabama is a mobile quarterback. Diego Pavia might go 2 for 2.
Mizzou's always tough.
Mizzou's
gonna be
always
tough.
tough. Tennessee, I mean, Joey Aguilar, you see him tossing a ball around the yard.
The Vols got an offense.
The balls are good. South Carolina, like you have a Heisman Trophy candidate at the quarterback position and a defense that gets the fuck after it. Number 0, that linebacker. We were talking about it, JP. Like
Dylan Stewart.
he's a stud. LSU, they're 1-0 for the first time since 2019. That's a team that you're like, fuck, man.
Oklahoma.
It's
Auburn.
like, we'll find out who Oklahoma is this week. We're going to find out who Oklahoma is. We're going to find out who Michigan is this week in Norman. And then you got, Auburn. It's like, I think the consensus coming out of Auburn is like that Arnold kid, like you can't be running around like that over the field and expect to be healthy come November 23rd. Or what is that? 29th.
With Auburn, the formula is you got to make Arnold beat you with his arm.
Yeah. Which is, anytime you can see a place of being one-dimensional, the favor goes in the opposite
Right.
team.
But I'm saying like what I mean when I'm saying that is like in the first quarter, I'm watching that game and you hear about the confidence of Jackson Arnold and where's he going to be at mental. He got benched at OU. And even in the first quarter, like on the broadcast, they're like Hugh Freeze told us before the game, if he can just get Jackson to start off 3 of 5, he'll be happy. And I'm just thinking, man, is it such a question mark on this kid's confidence? And then as I'm watching the game and seeing him run, whether it's design runs or him back in the pocket and run around, he's got legs on him. But if you're in a defensive meeting about to play Auburn, it's, hey, this kid's not going to beat us with his arm.
Right.
You lick him a couple times, you eliminate his legs. What's the old saying? You chop off the head, the body will follow.
Yeah.
That's like the mentality that I kind of see when watching Auburn. I think they got a lot of talent. They got a good team. It's all going to come down to can Jackson Arnold throw the ball, because when you're playing good quality football teams, those defenses are going to be like, hey, these guys don't have a shot if we just eliminate Jackson Arnold running the football.
Right.
Good thing that's the last game of the year. So hopefully we can.
Last game of the year, then
Figure
records.
that out.
records
Yeah, I'm talking
records go
Auburn
out the
just
window
getting
with
into
Auburn.
any play, like going
Records,
against any
yeah.
really good competition.
I mean, yeah. On the other hand, like if Jackson Arnold can figure out a way to throw the ball, be the 5-star recruit he was, and people saw little glimpses of it at Oklahoma, like he could bring Auburn back because they have a hell of a wide receiver room,
They got a lot of good talent.
a lot of good
O-line.
talent. So I mean, it's up in the air. We'll find out in a couple weeks, but until then, Alabama and the fan base have to kind of sit and stew on it a little bit because it's a tough place to be in right now. All that success for the past 20 plus years. It's like, is it going to go away? Are you going to become like a middle of the pack team? Because there's a lot of other teams in the SEC that are gathering stock. South Carolina's a team we've already mentioned a couple times, but like there's some schools out there that are willing to press for that top
Tennessee,
3 team in
too.
the SEC. Tennessee
Tennessee had a good showing against Syracuse. Hey, look, hand up, Jackie. I was wrong about the covering. I said you guys would win the game. 13.5 points felt like a Fran Brown. And the crazy part is, Jack, when we were at
I was just going to bring it up.
when we were at Ohio State watching the Ohio State-Texas game, we're sitting in that stadium and I'm just getting sunburnt on one side of my body. But the scoreboard, you didn't. I was standing on the
I think
side,
it's just
dude,
funny.
Dude, when I got home, it was literally one side of my face.
Oh, for real?
I was burnt on this side of my neck.
This
and
whole
this side of my
weekend when
face.
we were in Kansas City, Will was like, I'm catching too much sun on my face. And then even during the game, and now we're sitting on a bus 3 days later, like the sunburn has been a front of mind thought for you for the last 72 hours.
But the scoreboard in the Ohio State game had Syracuse beating you guys all the way up until halftime, I believe.
It was like 24-21 on the broadcast, on the little side.
I'm
Yeah,
telling Taylor, I'm like, Jack's in hell right now. The way
First
he's
thing
back
Will
and
and
forth.
Taylor say when they get to me and JP, they kind of got these shit-eating grins on their face, like, "Hey man,
No,
you
I was a little
okay?"
tight because I bet Tennessee.
And I was like, dude, yeah, this is a good day.
I yelled from far away, I like Fran Brown.
Yeah.
Because when I walk out of the stadium, it was 27-24
And I was
Syracuse.
like, hell yeah,
Right.
dude, they're getting fucking mobbed right now.
I was like, what's going on with
Yeah.
the defense? You're like, we're playing pretty good. I'm
Yeah.
like, what?
But yeah, super inspiring week for the Vols, especially with a lot of chatter on the offseason. We had a horrible indoor season in the shoe where we were, and we got whooped by them, and we lost so many players on our offense. 4 of our 5 linemen gone. Dylan Sampson, SEC Player of the Year, gone.
Most productive receivers.
Yeah, productive
Gone.
receivers, James Pierce Jr. I mean, on all sides of the ball, you have all these key players that are gone, and it's very easy. Similar on the Bama talk, even though Tennessee has not had the production even close in the last 2 decades to what Bama has, it is very easy to hate and doubt Tennessee because we have a very strong-headed fan base. No matter if we are the last in SC or the first, our fans still ride like we're the first. So I understand when people want to spin a narrative like, oh, this is going to be a lag year. You guys lost Nico. You should have paid him. Hey, Nico, you fucked up, dude. You fucked up. How fun is it playing at UCLA with that empty-ass stadium getting your ass whooped?
Easy, Jack.
How
is just
fun
a kid.
is it, man? Anyways, it's awesome to see
fans
Joey
are dying.
Aguilar. Joey Aguilar might not be pound for pound a better quarterback than Nico is, but for our offensive scheme, Joey Aguilar played his ass off. He had 1 lapse on a fumble. There's some accuracy issues that will be worked on. It's week 1. But it seems like he was just so poised and calm. The whole game, from the first series that he played, there was never like a moment of shakiness or like, hey, let me try and do something that's out of my wheelhouse. But I just feel like the whole Tennessee team played really well. And our running backs, I think that was such a big thing for Vols fans, is when you lose Dylan Sampson, you don't know what's going to happen. And we have 3 running backs that truly can all do it. And so, yeah, it was fun. Obviously, it's Syracuse, so like you try not to get too far ahead of yourself. But Syracuse also looked decent. We've got things to work on our defensive front for sure.
They went 10-3 last year. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
They were 10-4.
Yeah.
And again, I was big on. I still am. Like I think Fran Brown's a really good head football coach. So
Yeah.
it's not like, hey, it's just Syracuse. I know like people who are casuals, they just see the logo Syracuse, think this isn't a big win. Like you still had an opponent that you had to line up across that was going to play good disciplined football as well as they could. They do got a lot of transfers and
Right.
everything else. But Fran Brown's a good head coach.
good.
And
Yeah.
we play ETSU this week. First home opener, 2:30. That should be a pretty
See, now
standard
that one,
game.
it's like, oh,
yeah, that's a
ETSU.
knockdown. Like if you don't beat them by 40 plus, then you're like, okay, maybe last week was just kind of something.
See, I disagree. I mean, you got such a big game next week, the following week versus
Georgia is huge.
It's one of those things where like keep it vanilla, keep it basic, run the ball, like
Play
work
the
on
twos,
work
maybe.
on
Who knows?
fundamentals, and just like like you've got the talent to kind of like East Tennessee State was that FC? What is that D1AA?
Go Bucks.
I'll tell you what though, don't sleep on it. There was a year there.
I don't want to say
One of our years, I feel like we had a game like this every year when I was at Nebraska, but it was South Dakota State. We beat them just 13-7, and
South
we
Dakota
got
State's
so
kind of nice.
yeah. But at this time, we're talking like they shouldn't have been on the same field as. All I'm saying is, you don't want to be so focused on Georgia that you have a down week because you just as a player we got so motherfucked after that game. It's easy to happen.
You want to play good. You want to
It's
play
like their
good.
Super Bowl. They're celebrating that they
good,
lost
clean
13-7.
football. Don't show Georgia anything more than you showed them against
Definitely.
Syracuse. Like show, hey boys, how do we put together quality 60 minutes where it's like we're running the clock. We can show we have the run game, work on our fits. But during the week, you obviously nothing's ever guaranteed in college football. Have a couple of Georgia periods in the beginning of the week. Hey, this is what they're going to show us next week. Maybe get a couple of guys. Yeah. I mean, I hate to put that on East Tennessee State, but you guys have shown hey, maybe Tennessee can be something this year in the SEC when you guys were having so much distraction and so many things going on with your quarterback situation during the offseason. It's like you guys got waxed against Ohio State. Yep. Then Nico wants to leave. There's a money issue. Heupel shows his stones by saying we're not dealing with that with the culture here. You do a switch with UCLA, and it seems like you guys have won the trade essentially.
You look at that breakup objectively.
Yeah.
That obviously that could change next week. I just hope that the message going into the clubhouse this week is that we're 0-0. It's every week, just 0-0. Right. Just beat the team that you're playing on Saturday. So it's very it's positive feelings right now. It's just nice to wake up on a Monday and not just have so much anger in your heart.
Yeah. It's good to know that your mental health is in a good spot.
Yeah, but
especially leading up to Tennessee versus Denver this week.
And that's what I was gonna say. This is the 1 week where we don't have Titans football, where I get one night maybe to have fun, throw some tweets out there, have a drink or two, and then wake up on Sunday and just get your dick kicked in. So, hopefully not this year. It will be interesting playing in Mile High, Cam Ward. It's a scary place for a rookie to go and have his first debut
place
game
to play in September,
but also the perfect place to really make a statement. So hopefully, yeah.
I don't hate it. I don't hate the optimism. I don't.
We'll see.
Bo
though.
Nix though, Sean. I mean,
also something I do while we're kind of on the topic of Ohio State, Texas. Do we want to talk about the scenario that we were in with a certain somebody on this bus that had the opportunity to be boots on the ground in his quote unquote home team, but chooses not to go to the shoe or even to it, just to dap up the fans, be in the mix? Is that something we want to cover now, or should we just maybe?
I think it's a great transition to the next game. Yeah, Ohio State versus Texas.
Yeah.
So some context is what Jack's saying here. We came across how do we say this?
We're in Kansas City.
We came across a glitch in the system to where Mitch could come to the Ohio State Texas game. Yeah. Mitch. People who are tier ones and people who understand our guys on Bussin' with the Boys. Mitch Carsley has been labeled a casual Ohio State fan. And anytime he has an opportunity to kind of quiet that crowd and quiet those haters, he fails to do so. In the most recent example coming over this past week, he didn't have his real ID. By the way, shout out Fly House. We got to fly private with Fly House. They were phenomenal. But Mitch is sitting there, and they had to fly commercial back to Nashville, and he's like, "Hey, do you think I'm going to be able to get on this plane if I don't have a real ID?" And he doesn't have his passport. He had a picture of his passport. I'm telling him he should call the airline to kind of get out ahead of it, see what they can do. He should be able to get on the flight. However, hey, bro. You could just come with us to Ohio State, because what we were learning when we were going to Ohio State is we didn't know if we'd get all the boys in, Jack and JP. We knew we were credentialed to get on the game pregame, but we did not have credentials for Jack and JP. We ended up fizzling our way in. That vlog's going to be coming out soon. It was a great time. But Jack and JP were basically we were going to be in the game. Jack and JP were just going to go watch the games at a bar. So we were telling Mitch, hey, bro, you don't have a whole lot going on. You could fly with us on the plane to go watch Ohio State versus Texas. 1v2, Arch Manning, all of it. Defending national champions. Right. Lee Corso's final game. College football history. See your natty being unveiled, the banner, all of it. You can come with us to Ohio State and then just go watch the games at the bar with Jack and JP. Mitch, you have that opportunity. Do you want to take it? The haters are saying you're casual. Here's where you buy in to being an Ohio State Buckeye for real with that big ass head. He says no. He wants to go home to watch the game back in Nashville.
Right. Can I say something before Mitch speaks?
Go ahead.
I went to go pack my bag. I came back and walked into this situation. Was not given all of that information with the real ID, putting in the context, it's college game day, it is his team. And I kind of took Mitch aside for a little bit. And I was sitting here planning to take the side, but after the way you painted the picture that way, it's hard for me to lean there and still sit behind Mitch and be like, that was a good move.
For every fan out there listening that loves their team, There's people tuned in all across the country that love their college football team. If you had the opportunity to fly on a PJ to go to college game day for your team and to witness a historic day, Lee Corso's final, like that's not a sleeper. That's not a sleeper thing either.
It's not. You get to see him in person wearing a tux.
And we're going to fly back that same day. So you can be at home and watch some of these games at nighttime.
Yeah.
Would you take it as a fan? They're probably screaming at their phone or TV if they are in their living room right now. By the way, if you're watching, make sure you're subscribed. They're probably screaming at Mitch like, this dude, how is he with Bussin with the boys?
It breaks my heart the way you're explaining it this way, because I know there's a gentleman or a lady that's in their pickup truck right now driving to work, wishing they had the opportunity to have Mitch Carsley's job. And we're here to give people a good time when they listen to this show. And right now they're not having a good time listening
They
to
tune into us knowing like these guys are fans of college football, NFL football. They love ball. And they have homers all across the board.
Yeah.
And what I would do just to run the production of Bussin and turn down the option of flying on a PJ and go seeing your favorite team play.
In the biggest opening weekend game in possibly college football history.
Yeah. Like, hey, how is our defense going to be this year? We got Justin Sayin? Julian Sayin?
That's the quarterback.
Julian Sayin. We got Julian. What's he going to be like that? You got Jeremiah Smith.
You got Matt Patricia, who 3-time Super Bowl champion, coming to be in our DC.
Everybody keeps talking about the Longhorns. Matthew McConaughey is going to be there. Yeah. I think we're going to beat their ass. You don't want to go watch your team in the shoe.
God.
And it was loud.
Loud.
Dude, can I speak now?
Mitch, the floor is yours, my friend.
So what you failed to say is that it was a bit of a deal trying to get credentialed to go into this game. Not only for us, but for you guys as well.
True.
Bit of a deal during the week. Sorry, that chaps my ass.
I know, but
the deal was solved.
Deal with the chap. Let him speak. Okay.
So
Old Chafe ain't bad right now.
Okay.
And from my
I'm hopped up on Form Energy. I'm sorry.
And you guys were still trying to get JP and Jack credentialed so that they could go into the game and they could capture the content and stuff and do the whole like fall tour deal that we typically do. So from my understanding, you guys were still trying to get them credentialed. And in my head, I'm like, it's already been a deal for, let alone them two, for you two to get credentialed. There's no way we can add a third person. I do not want to go to Columbus and go sit at a bar by myself, and I'm not the biggest people person. I'm not going to talk to random people and just like make friends with them because I'm just not outgoing.
Dearly
like
beloved.
That. And so in my head, I'm like, I would rather not just sit at a bar by myself. I would rather go home and sit with my friends and watch the game.
Do you know how many new iPhones are going to be bought this week? Because they are breaking theirs right now. Listening to you say, with my boys, if they get into the game, I am choosing not to fly private, go to the biggest game in week one, go to see the unveiling.
Week one history, yeah.
Week one history, not see the unveiling of the national title, not see the juice that's in that home stadium, not see Lee Corso make his final pick, not see any of it. I'm not going to do that and go just watch at a bar by myself in the college town surrounded by all of my types of people because we love the Buckeyes. You're saying you're not going to do that. That was your worst case scenario.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, and him saying your biggest thing was we didn't know if we were going to get credentialed. Already figured out. I know that chapped your ass. Didn't know if Jack and JP were going to be credentialed. They already knew it was probably going to be a hard sell. But then you have the real ID issue. You're talking about you don't have a passport, but you have a picture of the passport, and you go, I don't know if it's a good move to go. Your boss says, why not just come with us? And you chose to say no to that.
Yeah.
For actual tier 1 fans, JP, are you making a move like that? Or are you going to South Carolina if they're ranked number 1? Or, I don't even need to say net ranked number 1 in the country.
They're ranked.
Yeah, I drove to Atlanta when we got back.
Texas is 1.
JP drove to Atlanta to go watch the game.
But I think Mitch, what they're wanting to find out is, are you officially ready to say, are you a casual fan or are you a tier 1 fan? That's where they're trying to get at.
I think we had this conversation, I'm pretty sure, on camera. Like it is well known, and I accept the fact that I am not a tier 1 fan like G.
No, Mitch. Say, I am a casual Ohio
If you
State
let me
fan.
finish speaking, G is a tier 1 Alabama fan. JP
Let him talk.
is a South Carolina tier 1 fan. Jack, tier 1 fan. Chef, tier 1 fan. I'm not like that. So yes, I would fall under the category of being a casual. I am a casual Ohio State fan.
That's what I just.
That's all you wanted.
That's all I need.
All is forgiven now in your head.
I am a casual Ohio State fan.
Right.
Like
not they're this. I'm not that. I'm not. No. Just say what you are.
I enjoy watching. Like I just love watching college football, and then the team that I pull for is Ohio State. Like it's not like Ohio State ride or die. If Ohio State loses, my week is not ruined. I'm bummed out for a couple hours and like that's football. Like that was I'm pissed if like they lose to Michigan because obviously it's the biggest game of the year. But like when
sports.
Like we went to Michigan 2 years ago.
2 years ago in Ann Arbor.
I mean, I was bummed out, but I wasn't like, what the fuck, dude? Like I wasn't drinking a 40 at the hotel like some people have on this bus before. Like I'm not crazy. I have never.
He's kind of cooking right now, though. He's
I've
kind of
never
doing his
been.
thing.
I've never been that fan because, like, I don't. Not that I don't understand it. It's just like I'm not like wired that way, and like I love.
You're saying we're weird now, huh?
There's nothing wrong with it, but I'm just not somebody that like. I'm not gonna let it. Like, this sounds really weird, but I'm not gonna let a group of 18-year-olds ruin my week. Like, it's just like I love
real mature, you Mitch.
Very mature of you, Mitch.
I love watching college football. I can say I love Ohio State, but I'm not going to be like obviously like these guys or like you guys. Like, yes, I feel like this has been established. You just wanted me to say I am a casual Ohio
because
State
at times you have thought that you are a big Ohio State fan.
I have never said that I'm on your guys' level.
You've tried to fight into it at times.
Good.
My mom's got an AJ Hawk jersey. I got to get
I mean, like I've been an Ohio State fan since.
I think Mitch it gets defensive when we just completely take away the fact that he's a fan.
Yeah,
like
that's the part where I push back because I am a fan of Ohio State and I've been a fan of Ohio State since I was like 6 or 7 years old. But I'm not going to get the Block O tattooed on me or anything.
All right,
like
fair
that.
I get it.
Onward,
Look, it's
onward.
not that serious. It's not even that deep.
Since this is week one, Tuesday morning. You guys are listening to the show. It's overreaction week. Will, is Arch Manning dead? Is Texas dead?
No.
Couldn't agree more.
He had a bad game. And that's going to happen. He's going to get stuff cleaned up. I love seeing him in the post-game presser. It starts with me.
Right.
I don't think Arch Manning's dead whatsoever. I think he's going to be a very good quarterback. It was so popular to kind of shit on the outing that he had because everybody put him on this pedestal of Heisman front runner, all these things, which was a very unfair thing to have happen. But I think we're losing sight of how well the Ohio State defense was. I thought their secondary was very good.
Yeah.
Their defense in total,
they were
those
plastered,
linebackers
they were plastered all over the receivers
You
the
said
entire time.
3-time Super Bowl champ as your defensive coordinator. Like,
Right, and I think that's something that was so overlooked by us in the locker room through the conversations throughout the week is Matt Patricia. It's like when we would go play the Patriots and Matt Patricia was the DC, it was, hey, what is the Rolodex of defense going to be? Hey, we're going to have to find out what they're giving us today before we can have a true solid game plan of how we want to attack their defense. And if you are a coaching staff who has not really seen that, where they have the ability to bring 7 guys in line, make it seem like it's 0. Now they're dropping in a very unique way. They're moving safeties as the snap's happening, as opposed to, with 15 seconds left on the clock before they snap the ball, where they're not giving you a very clear picture. Matt Patricia, he deserves so much credit. Those players obviously did an incredible job of taking his game plan, making it come to life. But Arch Manning, you can tell early, he was holding on to the ball for a long time. A lot of question marks around Texas's offensive line. I think for the most part, they held up. They did a great job. But he didn't use his legs. I think that was a design thing early in the game is, hey, don't take a lot of hits, holding the ball, get it out. And I think by the time we got to the point where Arch Manning should have started throwing the ball a little bit more, that's when it was a little too late for him mentally. Matt Patricia threw so many different varieties of defenses at him. Any team that goes into Columbus week 1 with Matt Patricia as a first-year DC, I think runs into the same exact issue. You're going to run into this. It doesn't matter if there's a better team out there, you're going to run into the same issue because there's no film to show what Matt Patricia is going to do with his team just yet. People are going to find answers as they get a little farther down the road. But that is a tough load for even a kid with the last name that he has, with being the number 1 overall recruit, with everybody in Texas saying we want him when you had a quarterback that is in the NFL now, starting ahead of him. I think Arch Manning's going to be just fine. And I think we're going to get halfway through the year. And I think we're going to have Texas and Ohio State are going to see each other again.
We looked
January.
over the fact that Matt
Or
Patricia is used to, drawing up game plans for winning Super Bowls, game planning against Peyton Manning,
Yes.
Joe Burrow, Ben Roethlisberger, all these elite quarterbacks, that he has a roster to where Texas is a very good roster too, but you have like the best players in the country, like Caleb Downs. Like we talk about Dylan Stewart being like the best defender in the country. Caleb Downs is one of, if not the best defensive player or player.
If Stewart's 1A, Downs is 1B.
Yes. Yeah. Or you could even flip that.
You could flip
like
them.
they talk
Downs
about
is our first team All-American.
His level of IQ, and even in the NFL, in college football, there's more glaring tendency football happening.
Yes.
Based on formations, personnel, situations. NFL is way harder to figure out the schematics of everything because there's so many details and so many iterations where you're doing self-scouting, you're playing a lot of the same teams. In college, like, it's a little bit more watered down to where you have more of a laser focus on certain tendencies happening. Matt Patricia, he's a bona fide defensive coordinator. He's got talent everywhere, and he comes from a philosophy where you take away the best players, you take away the things that they're wanting to do. Ohio State did a very good job of that. They have freaks at every level of defense.
Yeah.
They're going to be a very good football team this year.
Yeah.
I think it had more to do with how well the Ohio State defense was, filling their gaps or filling their holes from last year, having new guys step up. Again, this is a roster that reloads every year because of how good their recruiting classes are.
Right.
So everybody was kind of questioning that again. I was the same too. You're super high on Arch Manning. You're super high on this is the guy. Sark said this is what he's been building towards. So you drink that Kool-Aid, but I think Ohio State's defense is fucking really good.
Really
and I think
good.
Arch Manning just came into arguably the toughest environment to play in on week 1. Everything going on. You're going against this Ohio State defense
Who just won a national championship. Everyone's juiced up, ready to go.
It's his team finally, and I think he had a bad game. He missed some throws. People are talking about mechanics and this, that. He was an inaccurate quarterback, but I think this is a kid that he has the mental in between his ears to where he's going to be able to look at it. Again, you're never as bad as they say you are. You're never as good. You put your head down, you get back to work. I think he's going to be just fine, but Ohio State was the better team. It could have, they were talking about the failed fourth down attempts on Texas' side.
2 of them.
Like there were times where that game could have been flipped and Texas could have been in the lead.
Right. And who knows with momentum change how that stuff starts to go. Like,
yeah.
Especially with a younger defense, a lot of first-time stars on the Ohio State. It's like if the momentum starts to swing the other way, do you start to see cracks where guys start to press a little too much? Maybe they're not as gap sound as they did seem to be because they were in a controlling position the entire game, regardless of what the score says.
I mean, they had a chance to tie the game at the end. I mean, they failed the 4th down
The sneak,
conversion.
Yeah.
But like that drive was going to tie the game. So I mean, it's like even with. I think the Arch hate right now is ridiculous.
Arch hate
It's
is
so
ridiculous.
easy to do,
but this
man.
is what week 1 is, dude. Everyone's going to overreact in a positive way and especially in a negative way.
I mean, you've seen the Shadur narrative get lumped in with the Arch stuff just to go beyond and hate and do all like that's.
Yeah.
It's beyond psychotic on the internet, but this is not one to where I'm hitting the panic button whatsoever. I think he's going to be just
I
fine.
think the big bounce back. Can we pull up their schedule real quick?
And I don't want to say Justin Sand again. What is it?
Julian Sand.
He played a good game.
He
his first
played
start.
good enough for his team to win.
Yeah. For his first start going out there, and Texas is good too. Like again, this is a team that they'll probably see each other again in the college football playoff.
If Jeremiah Smith had a couple drops, so obviously he'll lock in and get that stuff. But I mean, he did what he had to do. Like he didn't lose the game.
Right.
He didn't lose the game for him. One thing to keep an eye on though is Jeremiah Smith. Well, someone said it was after the first drive, he's screaming at Julian Sand a little bit. He wants the ball, he wants it, and then the following drive has the 2 drops you talked about. Had 1 drop last year. It's one of those things, man, where you got to feed this kid and feed him early. Like he knows he's a star. You want this in your wide receiver, where they kind of have it can come off as selfish, but it's true being a competitor. I want to have the team on my back. I want to be the guy that's going to score the touchdowns for my team. So got to feed him. You got to feed the beast. You got to give him you got to make the sacrificial lamb. You got to bring it out there to the gods every once in a while.
With a player as good as he is, like there's obviously scheming plays up for him. And I think like that one play that you're talking about, that was a deep ball schemed up for him.
Yeah.
And Julian just checked it down instead. So like that's why he's pissed. He's like, all right, this is my play.
Yeah.
This ball should be and is coming to me, and it didn't. So that's why he.
One thing that's not playing in Texas's favor and Arch Manning getting back on the horse is they got Sam Houston this week, or that's September 20th. Can you pull up a little bit? Go up a little bit. Yeah, UTEP, Sam Houston, and then you go
San Jose State,
UTEP, Houston. So you got three. You're 3-1 right there. But then your next game is also away in Florida. Tough. Where the quarterback Lagway went off this week. Like if Florida's they're feeling a little frisky right there in the SEC. They're hanging out there. Yeah, they're hanging out down there with a bunch of prehistoric beasts, like getting ready to get after it.
I think the SEC is wide open. You look at Florida, you look at Texas, you look at Oklahoma with John Mateer.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt looking spicy. Again, we'll see what happens with Alabama. You got South Carolina, you got Tennessee, you got Georgia. I hadn't even mentioned Georgia yet.
Right.
But I think SEC is going to be fun this year.
Yeah, Georgia, they play Tennessee in 2 weeks, right? We just went over that. Yeah. And it's at home. Like that's a good way to start off your season.
Yeah.
It's a good way. A couple of cupcakes. You get SEC play with a Vols fan base that's very excited, but it's at your home turf. It's gonna be fun to watch the SEC this year.
Week 1 was
A&M.
Yeah. A&M had some struggles.
They did.
Had some struggles.
They did.
But it is week 1.
They covered.
Yeah.
You love buying into the overreaction of week 1 because it's fun, but again, it is week 1.
You look at A&M and it's like, what are they going to be in South Bend, Indiana this next week? Like CJ Carr, I think he showed a lot of things. We were like, he threw for 2 touchdowns.
I was surprised with the O-line of Notre Dame.
Oh, Notre Dame, man. Yeah,
or more O-line. Like surprised with the O-line. Maybe I'm sure they'll get back on track, but surprising how well the D-line for Miami played and got after their ass.
Yeah.
Bro. I'm talking about winning one-on-one battles, getting pressure without having to
just
send
rushing
pressure.
forward the entire time. And it's like, is Miami's defense that good, or is the offensive line that big of a question mark for Notre Dame? Because when you look at logos, you think of specific things, right? You look at Alabama, Nick Saban's Alabama, you think, it's a national champion. That's a team you have to worry about every single game with the discipline and all that. You look at Notre Dame, and at the very least, you're gonna have a sound defense and an outstanding offensive line. The guys come out of there like Zach Martin,
Love in the backfield. He ain't even getting all the touches.
Not even really getting touches. Now, is that an injury thing that was going on? Because they moved him out in the slot. They tried to use him as a passing threat, and he got loose a couple of times. He had himself a nice, I think it was a catch or a big run that got called back by a tight end hold. He bounced it off to the left side in the red zone, so it was a run. But man, you got to get back on track with Jeremiah Love. Especially, that was my Heisman pick. And
Carson,
it's not looking good
Carson
right now.
Beck's got some receivers that can snag it.
Buddy.
Was that
Tony kid?
Yeah, Malachi Tony.
He can do it all. They had him cooking them up. The first, your top 15 plays as an OC, you're like, how do we get on a good start right now? 7 of those top 15 plays were going to Malachi Tony. Then he's returning punts. He's returning kickoffs. Like, they looked at this kid. He might have been the best kept secret in college football. Like, this kid is
CJ Daniel with that snag.
Yeah, he got them thick dreads too. From Florida, speed demon.
Yeah,
he's like a little Tyreek Hill out there. The number 10 doesn't hurt at all, but this kid is impressive. And Carson Beck too.
Carson Beck played very well, and I loved his post game where he's sitting on the field doing an interview. You just tell he's just talking about the adversity he's been through. Fired up for him. I thought he played his ass off.
Yeah. Sounds a lot of people. You saw he was emotional in his post game on the field still with the reporter. He's like had a hard time even getting his words out because he's heard the noise. He heard how people talked about him at Georgia was an issue. Then you start to watch the game and the commentators start talking, well, was it Carson Beck at Georgia or was it his receivers having a bunch of drops at Georgia? Mm-hmm. Maybe Carson Beck is who we originally thought he was.
Right.
So that's exciting, man. It's exciting for Miami. The ACC is another juicy little league too, with Florida State getting the upset.
Just all the Florida schools in general: Florida State, Miami.
Yeah,
they down there. College football, man.
College football. It's already in full force. It's in midseason form.
Do we dive into our teams?
Our teams.
Did we get into some Big Ten talk?
Let's do an ad read, and then let's dive into our teams.
We'll get through some ads. Speaking of the Big Ten, the sponsor The sponsor nut of the Big Ten is Blue Diamond.
Ew.
Blue Diamond almonds are the super nut that hits you with that little protein punch to keep you going. Available in 20 plus flavors like honey roasted, wasabi and soy sauce, and smokehouse. Do not sleep on the blueberry.
And you probably,
it's a nice little candy.
you're looking at comp right now with like he's got a dick on his forehead. I'm telling you, dude, the blueberry is solid.
I love the blueberry in the shop. And this football season, you could win a $10,000 grand prize or 100s of other instant win prizes with Blue Diamond. Visit bdsweeps.com for a chance to win. No purchase necessary. Ends on November 30th, 2025. Open to 50 U.S. and D.C. 18 plus. For rules, visit bdsweeps.com. Void where prohibited. Blue Diamond Almonds, the official snack of Big Ten football and football fans everywhere.
Speaking of catching nuts, Roe Sparks are a 2-in-1 prescription treatment for guys who need a secret weapon against softness. Roe Sparks can give you bigger, thicker, longer erections because they get fuller. After Roe Sparks dissolve, they work in 15 minutes on average. If prescribed, new sexual health patients get $15 off their first order of Sparks on a recurring plan. Connect with the provider at ro.co/bussin to find if a prescription Roe Sparks are right for you. That's ro.co/bussin for $15 off your first order. Very small fine print here. Compound drugs are permitted to be prescribed under federal law but are not FDA approved and do not undergo FDA safety, effectiveness, or manufacturing review. For full safety information, go to ro.co/safety info.
This episode is also brought to you by Netflix. Canelo vs. Crawford, 2 champions, 1 legacy. The fight that the boxing world has been waiting to see. Ultimate marquee opponents, Canelo and Crawford, facing off for the first time in their Hall of Fame boxing careers. Canelo has not only his legacy at stake, but also the weight of his entire country, Mexico, to come out on top. Crawford is looking to take one final swing, possibly at the end of his undefeated career. The winner will walk away as the greatest of their era. The fight is accessible globally and included as part of your Netflix subscription. No expensive pay-per-view fees. Watch Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Crawford, Nebraska boy, Saturday, September 30th at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, live on Netflix.
Once again, that's September 13th. September 13th at 9 p.m. You said the 30th. But listen, I know we want to get into our teams real quick, but Canelo Crawford, we're talking about a couple of GOATs of their era right now, leads you to the question of NFL. Who is the GOAT? Best all time?
Tom Brady, it's no question.
It's not even close, right?
It doesn't matter. I know people argue the baby GOAT of Patrick Mahomes. It does not matter what Mahomes does the rest of his career. If he does not go to another team and win with another head coach, he cannot cement himself as the greatest of all time. Not to mention he lost in when they dueled it out, Tom Brady with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Twice.
New coach, new head coach, beat Patrick Mahomes.
Lost to him when Tom Brady was at the Patriots. Lost to him when Tom Brady was at the Buccaneers.
Yeah, so
I don't subscribe to that.
You don't subscribe to that?
I think Pat Mahomes could become the GOAT. Absolutely. And
Elite player.
Future
Pat
friend of the
Mahomes.
show.
Yeah.
Future friend of the show, Patrick Mahomes.
He's a friend of the show.
He's a friend. Need to be friend of the show.
Need to be friend
Need
of
to
the
be
show.
friend of the
Yes,
show.
yes,
But
yes,
talking
yes.
like that is not going to become friend of the show. He'll become enemy of the show.
Yeah.
And we don't want that.
I didn't think about that.
But as of right now,
You can do it, Pat.
as of right now, you got to say Tom Brady.
I may disagree a little bit. If we're talking solely best NFL football player
Of all time.
of all time, football player, can play the game of football, the sport of football, I don't know how it wouldn't be Taysom Hill.
Oh, the Mormon Missile.
And shout out my guy Cam Jensen in this argument too, because he always argues for Taysom Hill. The NFL has never seen somebody play so many positions before because there's no athlete out there that's capable of it. Quarterback, tight end, fullback, running back, special teams, kick returner, punt returner.
And he's had a couple of snaps at wide receiver as well.
Wide receiver
You
also.
put him out in the slot, all of a sudden, boom.
If we're talking strictly football, I don't know if anybody has ever been able to do more than Taysom Hill.
Initial animal brain reaction. Don't hate the argument.
Don't hate it at all.
Don't hate the argument.
Something for people to chew on as they watch the rest of our episodes.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is take the rings out of it. We're talking about solely playing the game of football.
Greatest football
You're
player
going out
of
there,
all time.
backyard football. You got to draft a guy. I'm
Taysom
taking
Hill.
Taysom Hill. on
Backyard
my
football,
turkey
you're
day.
taking Taysom Hill over Tom Brady 10 out of 10.
Have to. You got to be able to move back there.
Yeah.
Backyard football?
Yeah.
Brother, he's
never
not
heard of
wrong.
I'm gullible, so you pitch a decent argument to me, I'm buying.
Boom. You bought that?
I kind of buy it.
Swipe the card, baby. I think Bussin' with the Boys is on the stance of Taysom Hill being the best NFL player of all time.
There's arguments.
Yeah. Dante Poole, D tackle for Kansas City, had a couple of rushing touchdowns and a Dontari Poe. Dontari Poe. D tackle.
Yeah, Dante Poole.
Pro Bowl D tackle. Had a receiving touchdown and he threw for a touchdown as well. So another guy that can maybe do more than Tom Brady. Derrick Henry. You lose me a little bit
Can
when it
run
comes
the
to protection.
football. Can run the football.
Derrick Henry, best pure running back of all time.
Oof.
Pure. Hand him the ball. Receiving threat.
Barry Sanders.
Yeah, Barry Sanders, Walter Payton.
Emmitt Smith.
He's also thrown
Emmitt
for
Smith
a
had the
couple.
greatest O-line of all time for years. But yes, Emmitt Smith. Listen, I was a fan of the Cowboys in the 90s. LT was nice. O.J. Simpson, Jim Brown.
Whoa. Yeah.
Yeah.
O.J.
A lot
Simpson.
of good
will
football
kill
players
for you.
out there.
That's athlete, though. We're
Yeah.
talking football player.
Best football player of all time, Taysom Hill. Onward. Big weekend. We've already said it. Teams are 5-1. Sitting on this bus right now, but it all started in Kansas City when the boys flew from Nashville, Tennessee to Kansas City to watch the Nebraska Cornhuskers take on the Cincinnati Bearcats. We get there, confidence is high. I see a scout for the Jets. I go, what are you doing here? He goes, I'm here watching this tight end for Cincinnati. I'm also watching the quarterback for Cincinnati. I said, oh yeah?
The D tackle for Cincinnati.
D tackle for Cincinnati as well. And I go, well, this game's going to be a blowout, right? And he goes, I don't think it is. I go, no, Nebraska's going to cover -6.5, aren't they? He goes, I think this game's a lot closer than what your fan base is hoping for right now.
You're telling me that FanDuel Sportsbook is wrong that Nebraska's going to cover 6.5.
Yeah. And he looked me dead in the eyes and he goes, this game is going to be a lot more interesting than you think. It's going to be a lot more
And Taylor
interesting
came
than
and
you
told
think.
me that. And I was,
And I told him, listen, I got
buddy, I don't need to hear that.
I got to give my boy perfect information. Obviously, it's not the information you want to give to your guy, but hey,
You have
you
to.
know, yeah, it's like the Vince Vaughn movie where he sees his boy's girl cheating on him. It's like, what do? You got to tell your boy. Even if your messenger gets killed,
Yeah.
I got to let him know.
And eye test wise, it's like you have this idea of Cincinnati, but seeing them in person, I'm like, hey, they got some cats.
Especially
They
that,
got some cats in uniform
Sorsby,
over there.
buddy. I'm telling you, that kid is electric. Big boy. Hard to take down type of boy.
Fast.
And that tight
Fast.
end looked the part too.
Yeah,
was
he
good.
did.
Like they got to get him probably more involved. Shout out Coach Stepp also.
Shout out
tight
Coach
ends
Stepp.
coach at
Yeah.
Cincy.
He was
Friend
the
of the
homie.
show.
He's your boy, right? From South Carolina.
From
Fan of the
South
show.
Came up
Carolina.
fan of the show,
Yeah.
soon to be possibly friend of the show. They apparently the doors are open at Cincinnati for us to
Yeah.
come, which might be a spring tour stop this coming year.
Yeah.
But I want to get your impression of the game, your feelings throughout first, second, third, fourth quarter, especially in the fourth quarter. But also, next time there's a Nebraska football game we got to go to, we're getting security. We got to, I mean, it is fucking ridiculous. I mean, and also, I actually would like to say this one thing too. Nebraska fans, known for being the most polite, generous fan base in all of college football.
Got a little edge to us now.
I'm walking through and it's like, well, you're the best. Taylor, fuck Michigan. And I'm like, whoa, what are we doing here?
Even to where I'm saying easy. Hey, guys,
Easy. One guy mistakes Jack. Thank God Jack took this bull from me. He was wearing a little Kevlar on the chest. Some guy's like giving Will the love. Hey, you're the best. You're the greatest. He's fucking putting his back of his throat.
And he's
he
going,
looks over
"Fuck
at
Michigan."
Yeah, he looks over at Michigan and goes, fuck Michigan. To the point where we know how Will's been a little nasty towards Michigan. He's even going, listen,
Oh, hey,
boys.
easy. Oh, my bad.
Listen, boys. Hey, we got to put down. I'm walking through. I go to take a piss in the second quarter. Drunk Nebraska fan comes up to me and goes, oh my God, Bussin' with the boys. Taylor would love you guys, blah, blah, blah. Daps me up. I'm like, oh man, appreciate you. Thank you for watching the show. Go Big Red tonight, am I right? He's like, yeah. I go to take a piss. I whip my little piece out. He goes right next to me in the urinal and he looks at his boy. Literally, not a space in the urinal. He goes right next to me. I can hear you. He goes, man, it's so crazy. We got to see the Bussin' with the boys guys. I mean, it is just Taylor. Like, he's not really the boy. Like, Will's really the boy, but like, it's awesome to see. So, and my little piece of my hand, he's getting a little gun shy too. He's getting a little sad. He's starting to turtle up on, man, we got to get this place and get out of here, buddy. Bullets are flying. Cincinnati comes out. First time in my life I heard Nebraska Cornhusker fans boo. Cincinnati gets
booing with them coming out to the field.
Gets a first down. Cincinnati Nebraska booing. Flag on the play in favor of Cincinnati. Nebraska fans booing. Under review goes Cincinnati's way. Nebraska fans booing. I'm hearing a lot of fucks. I'm seeing a lot of middle fingers. Nebraska fans are fed up for a reason. Thank God we started 1-0. Will Compton, you have the floor.
Yeah, I think Nebraska fans are sick and tired of being sick and tired. There were people overreacting a lot to what they saw on Thursday night. Overreacting a lot to what they saw on Thursday night. Oh, Nebraska, they're going to be middle of the road team. People forget that Nebraska of old, not even of old, of recent,
of last year,
ways to lose that one-score game in the fourth. My balls were in my stomach when Sorsby had the ball. They just drove down on us running the football and scored. And they got the ball with a minute and change left. And I am like, holy fuck, we might lose this goddamn game. And look, people, again, forget the things that we've went through. We didn't attempt a field goal over 50 yards last year. We banged one in from 52 with juice left on it.
Check.
Like, special teams has been such a problem for us. We now have a punter that had 3 inside the 20, 2 of them inside the 10. We got guys on the outside with Hunter and Key that can go up and get it. You got Ja'Cory Barney, had a drop in the game, but Ja'Cory Barney is a hell of a football player. Emmett Johnson can run through your face. This is a +1 guy. You get a one-on-one in the hole. Like, the balance that he has in low center of gravity, we have a good running back. We have a good line. We have guys at every position
44.
on offense. 44. JP identified him right out of the gate. That's going to be a player for you guys.
That's a college football player right there. That's what he
44
said.
making plays out there at the tight end spot. Raiola, it came out. You let the games play out all weekend long, and you see the ebbs and flows, the way people feel about their team, and then they're not up to expectation. Coming out of that game, Raiola was what? One of, I want to say Lenore Sellers is probably in that category too, but before Sunday kicks off, the only P4 quarterback to play against another P4 program and have over 200 plus yards, over 60% completion rate, and 2 touchdowns.
70% completion
I think
rate.
he was the only. Carson Beck probably got it.
But
I think it was just them two.
Right, but the metric was 60. Yeah, Dylan was like 70% plus on completion. Like, I wish we would have took more shots downfield, but they played a very soft 2-shell, even 3-shell at times with safety. So we're taking what the defense gives us. For me, I come out of that game optimistic because we find a way to lose that game. Last year, the year before, the year before, the year before, the year before, and the year before. We find a way to somehow lose that.
I think there's actually
game,
one more year before. In
yeah,
as well.
Another year before.
Yeah.
And so I was fired up. There's a lot of stuff to build on, a lot of things to grow, from. Situationally, you can't have a false start when you're on the goal line. You're on the 1 yard line. Yeah. You have a false start. You get pushed back. You end up settling for 3 when you want 7 in that situation. And the defense, again, balls in everybody's stomach. We need a play defensively. Who's going to show up? It happened twice with our black shirt defense. In the second quarter before the half, when they throw that little underneath route, Buddy lights him up, fumble, we get the ball back, score before we go into halftime. Again, you want to come out and get points. And then again, at the end of the game, is it Hartzog, number 7, gets a defensive holding penalty. And again, that's where I'm like, God damn it. This is going to happen on week 1. Gets a defensive holding penalty, but keeps his, J.D. Pickell says this, keeps his competitive composure and comes out the next play and makes a massive interception to seal the game. A lot of times, again, you go up, you're in your own head as a player, you can't move on to the next play. You might go up and PBU that or break it up or whatever. He secures the football, gets a massive turnover. I think there should be a lot of optimism. There is a lot of growth. I kind of like the spot we're in because the big game as a fan that you look at on the schedule, you don't want the players to do on the schedule, is you look at Michigan in week 4. So you should be coming out of that game, with a lot of things to correct and a lot of optimism. Hey, we can do this, we can do that, but we got to hone in the situational football to where your asshole's a little tight all the way up to where you brew September 20th, Michigan Bussin Bowl. Because again, you got Akron, you got, is it HCU? Who is that? Houston Christian? at home.
Yeah.
So we're going to be comfortable. We're going to be working on things we need to work on, but it's like the tell is going to be week 4 against Michigan. Whereas your guys' test comes more this week for you guys.
I like to give like one thing that impressed me the most about Nebraska. They finished the game +1 in the turnover margin. That to me
was
is
it
massive.
+1 or 2?
No, +1.
Because I don't think we turned the ball.
Oh no,
over.
because you guys, yeah. Dylan got the ball.
Yeah,
Well,
so
there was
lost, too.
3
God, I was so
separate
lucky.
fumbles. 3 different times that Nebraska Cornhuskers offense put the ball on the ground.
That usually goes into the opponent's
That usually
lap.
goes in the point. So that right there, it's like it's a God thing. It's a the football gods type of thing. But like last year, the year before, the year before, the year before, the year before, and the year before, that ball goes in the hands of Cincinnati. Now, shame on Cincinnati for being one of the DBs trying to scoop and score the situation. Get on the ball.
Dive on the ball.
Yeah, you're trying to make an ESPN top 10 move. You end up being on the ESPN not top 10 by not picking up that ball. However, the ball goes on the ground for Nebraska's offense 3 separate times. They recover it 3 separate times. That is a change. That is a visual change you can see in the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Can't always choose how the ball bounces your way, but when you've had so many years as a Cornhusker fan watching the ball go the way against you, it's nice to see it come for you. So I don't know if it was +1 or +2.
Yeah.
Last year, Nebraska Cornhuskers averaged 1.5 turnovers a game. They had 0 in this last game.
And field goal. We had 3 blocked last year.
Yeah.
Low trajectory kicker. And again, didn't attempt 1 over 50. Like, you got a guy that puts it in from 52.
Yeah. And who's your boy Eckler? Is that his name?
Yeah, Eck.
I will say this about Eck. I'm in Nebraska uniform. I got the red shoes on. I got the Nebraska shirt. I got the Nebraska hat. We sneak off because these NFL rules in the Kansas City. We sneak off for a moment, get on the sideline. We see Eck, dap him up, give him love. I say, hey, you see the fit? He goes, I love it. I go, I give you this right now. But September 20th, obviously, I'm hoping for you guys' downfall. He goes, he looks me dead in the eyes, and he goes, we don't fucking need you. Then I go, hey, I'm just trying to have a good time with you.
Yeah.
And he just smiles and dabs me up and walks away. Like, that is, and I love him more for it. Looked me dead in the eyes, drew a line in the sand, goes, that's my boundary right there. I said, you got it, brother. Absolutely. Fired up for Nebraska. There's so much to clean up. Would have loved to see.
Can't give up over 200 on the ground.
Can't give up 200 on the ground. Yeah, that was a bit of a sieve, but it's also a very mobile quarterback that had a twitch that he just seemed like he was moving at a different gear than everybody else in the field.
Yeah.
No disrespect to the Cornhuskers defense, but that kid, he was a notch faster than the rest of everybody else in the field. I would have loved Raiola, his completion percentage. Just by I don't want to do the comparison because it would cause a fluster, but like he had a lot of completions. A lot of those came from checkdowns. He had a couple of nice throws in the end zone that got him a touchdown. I would have loved to see an attempt at an X play through the air. Oh, that's I think it's the one thing you look at as a Nebraska fan and be like, love the stat line, love the rating, love the completion percentage, love the yards. Would have loved to see he threw that dime right there.
I'm sure they're all
window.
thinking, and even the staff is looking at the way they call the game, being like, "Oh, we could have took a show. We could have done this here. Could have done this there."
Yeah, because butthole's got a little tight. I mean, as it should have, right? So how many times did that not go your way?
Yeah.
Nebraska or Cincinnati, a team that in the Big 12 is kind of picked to finish.
They might win the whole thing.
Cincinnati.
They might win the entire Big 12.
One of the teams that finished last in the
Kansas
Big 12.
State ain't
I
doing
think
it.
they're going to shock some people this year.
I think they'll shock some people.
I think
too.
Kansas State
Cooked.
cooked.
God,
They're fucking
bro, that
done,
game
dude.
close. I saw
Avery
the score, and I'm
Johnson's
thinking,
dad
what
is
the
somewhere.
fuck?
He's. I got to look out for Avery Johnson's mom, man. We got to make sure everyone's safe in that household. Like, it is tough, man.
Cincinnati is now 5th.
Now 5th. I think they were towards the bottom.
They're way worse.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay, yeah, not 5th. That's just where the scrolling was.
Okay.
They're still,
yeah.
they're still plus 2,500 in the sports book.
And I love that the Big 12 has 20 teams, but it's the Big 12. I love
Kansas
that the Big
winning.
10 has
Big
has
12's
20
wide
teams.
open.
Kansas
Looks good. Kansas looks good.
I'll tell
Texas
you who
Tech
looked
came out and
good.
put
Did
an
you
ass
guys, did you guys watch Arizona State at all?
I thought it was a little too close.
No,
for
that's
Arizona State.
you're looking at
That's
looking at the
casual?
score.
That's casual,
Yeah,
you mean?
you're looking at the score because I mean I didn't get to watch the game in full. Obviously they play
Oh,
at
so you didn't
1
see it
a.m.
either.
No, I went back and watched the game.
Okay.
I went back and watched the game. Sam Levitt, great touch on the football. He's got a kid. I forget his name. He's number 0. If you can look that up for ASU.
Jordan Tyson.
Jordan Tyson. That kid had so many catches that
football
you're like,
fan,
holy shit, this guy is a dog. Who's the cat? Their receiver or their running back room. They ran all over the yard on NAU. Their defense did a great job of standing up. Sam Levitt had one uncharacteristic throw by him, but I feel like that offense is going to be cooking in a big way. They get to go across the country to Mississippi State this week. It'll be fun to watch. I think they're favored by 6.5 right now, which I think Arizona State, because you put on Mississippi State's game. They played Southern Missouri.
That was close.
It was close in the first half. They really pulled away in the second half, but I think it was like 10-10.
Something like that.
It was tied up and it's like they got a nice little running back who came from the Sun Belt. He can move it around a little bit, but their offensive line looked a little slow, a little lethargic. The speed that you see the SEC with when you have the SEC logo on your chest, Mississippi State doesn't have that right now. So it'll be fun to see that game for sure.
Team that's got some juice in the Big 12 too is Utah.
They beat the shit out of UCLA.
Shout out Nico.
That OC and quarterback that came up from New Mexico, like they're nice.
Yeah.
Hey, quarterback's nice.
I'll say this too, man. Like Josh Pate said it, like Utah State had an uncharacteristically bad year. They're used to getting 9, 10, 11 wins every single year. They have a bad year last year. Everyone kind of writes them off. Utah, those Utes, man.
I want to hear about Michigan.
Yeah, let's dive into Michigan. We were kind of getting off the rails. Bryce Underwood. He's a guy.
Listen,
but he's got some zip on the ball.
I have some unhealthy optimism about our football season now. After watching that game take place,
kind of close for a second.
When you look at the score, you think to yourself, it got kind of close for a second. However, when you watch that game, and this is, if this doesn't happen, then this. And I know that conversation is just kind of disgusting for a lot of people, especially if you're not a fan of Michigan. That team, New Mexico gets 7 points on a fumbled kickoff return. Okay, ends up going where they have this insane trick play where they hit a ground ball. They have a little ground ball to the running back. He pops it over to tight end. Who gave us troubles? Number 7 from New Mexico gave us troubles all game. That's 7. In the third quarter, or is it the beginning of the fourth quarter, when they march down the field and they end up scoring 7, you have 3 different third downs of 3rd and 10 plus that Michigan stopped them with either incomplete pass, a sack fumble, or a PBU that gets called back because of a penalty. So if you're a Michigan team, the thing you need to look at is this. When I put the film on, when I'm watching the film of the University of Michigan on offense and defense, it's like both offense and defense played very well. You have to clean up the fumble. Number 4, he's a rookie. He had that. There was also another one where he had a little wheel route that Bryce Underwood basically hit him in the head. He just wasn't even looking. But at the defense, I love the way they played. They played 27 different guys on their defense.
I don't like how they gave up 21 first downs.
21 first downs. A lot of those come from the penalties that happen as well. You have Jayshawn Barham, who gets ejected. That is going to be appealed. We'll see if he doesn't. If he does not play against Oklahoma, that's a huge. And
that fucking sucks. Everybody's been bitching about the targeting, and I agree with what the world is saying. It's like that cripples college football. Like suspending the kid the next week is crazy.
That play was a fumble that was returned for a touchdown that was being reviewed to see if it was a fumble at all. There was no penalty flag on the play. They review it, they call it targeting, and they say the kid's disqualified. To me, it's like, man, like what are we doing in that situation? Like, yeah, his helmet hits the other kid's helmet, but he's not like putting his crown of his helmet down. He's wrapping him up. He
even tried turning his face.
Right. And listen, from New Mexico, you got to give New Mexico a lot of credit. Like that kid Lane, he was under pressure all night long, whether it was 4 or 5 coming at him. He was pressured over 17 times in that game. He took 3 or 4 sacks, but you had a revolving door of a very strong defensive line and a front 7 that was making him uncomfortable all day. He's the most sore guy in all of college football. Lane comes from Idaho State. Same guy, the head coach for New Mexico, he was also out of Idaho State. This is the same team that gave Oregon fits last year where they only lost to Oregon by 3 points. So they're a better football team than a lot of people are giving them credit for.
I mean, they were the 130th out of 132 defenses coming out of last year.
Yeah, coming out of last year. But you look at Florida State, who was 10-2 last year. They have 23 new transfers. I think New Mexico, what's that?
2-10.
2-10. Sorry, they were 2-10 last year. They have 23 transfers. They end up turning. I mean, it seems like they've really turned their season around with the upset against Alabama. New Mexico is another team that had a shitload of transfers as well, with this coach and this quarterback who has had success against Power 4 teams before. I'm not saying New Mexico is world beaters.
lot
I'm
of
just
explaining
saying.
for New Mexico.
He said you look at Florida State. We talking about New
When
Mexico.
you look at Bryce Underwood as a Michigan fan, you think, I just want to see completed passes. First play of the game, it's a bubble screen out to Samaj Morgan. Great blocking on the perimeter. He gets a first down. Bryce Underwood had -5 rushing yards, and I think it's for a reason. I think they told him, don't run, take as little hits as possible. He was hit 2 games. Both of them were his fault. The kid his release is incredible. He was putting the ball in a great spot every single time. If he missed in front of the guys. He had a great, they were backed up. I mean, you take the 2 minute. The 2 minute was incredible. They're backed up on the 2-yard line. They run an RPO, and he puts it over 2 other defenders and puts it right in Klein's hands. That's the tight end. The kid comes out. He's jumping around right before, which I'm getting nervous about. I'm like, this kid's he's a little too hyped up before first game of the year. And he seemed poised. The game didn't seem too fast for him. I know it's New Mexico. I understand, but the level of optimism when you ran the ball, we did with as a day one install. They did nothing pretty the entire game. They were very basic on the defensive side of the ball, very basic on the offensive side of the ball. They ran RPOs while still blocking the defensive end. Bryce Underwood was never going to run that game. It was very apparent, which makes me feel really good about the game coming up. That gives me the optimism. Oklahoma rushes for 44 yards against an FCS school. They are obviously very good throughout the air. Their offensive line seems like a bit of a problem. It seems like Mateer was under pressure a little bit. And boys, I'm telling you, we get this offensive line to gel a little bit. The run game is there. Justice Hayes, thank you so much, Garrett, for letting me have that boy, because he ran for 157 yards on 15 carries and 3 touchdowns. It fires me up.
I'm just glad that you could tell watching that game, they very much had a plan to match the identity of what they wanted to do. Big time run, a lot of run scheme, get them on the perimeter, move in the pocket, boots, play action. They knew what they wanted to do with Bryce.
Yeah.
And I think he can zip the fucking ball. And you'll get to see how good the team is when you play against Oklahoma, because, Oklahoma, again, no, not taking credit away from New Mexico, but this will be a different ball club. Windows will be tighter. Defenders will be a lot better.
Right.
Scheme will be a lot harder to identify. And then they have, again, you look at how New Mexico, Michigan did it, shoot themselves in the foot with a lot of different penalties. But New Mexico, being able to move the ball, John Mateer seems to be as advertised. Oklahoma's going to have an offense. So Michigan's defense will be tested this weekend.
Right. And it'll be,
you can find our picks on the locker room. Josh,
you can find your picks in the locker room. If you're thinking as a Michigan fan, Bryce Underwood needs to be the guy to beat Oklahoma, I think you have the wrong thought process. You need to win first and second down, keep their offense off of the field, and put Bryce Underwood in a situation to be successful on third and manageable downs. Brent Venable, he's had 10 years of success at Clemson, being an absolute stud.
Oklahoma. He's a defensive-minded cat.
He's a defensive-minded cat. He took over the play calling. They look good. I mean, the interior of their defensive line is really solid. It's going to be a fun game. It's going to be a fun game to watch. I cannot wait to see how this Bryce Underwood cat walks into Norman, and is he the guy who he says he is? Because it's exciting, man. I feel so optimistic about this Oklahoma game. So incredibly optimistic. I can't wait to see how it all goes down. But yeah, we have the forward pass again.
Yeah. Bryce Underwood is a good player. He's a very good. He'll be a very good player.
Man.
A game y'all didn't touch on, Clemson, LSU.
Yeah,
I don't know if you have anything to make of it.
Nussmeier.
Yeah.
Nussmeier looked good.
Yeah.
Operating.
The LSU's defense showed up to play. Looked very good. I thought Clemson's defense did a hell of a job. But Klubnik and a couple of those, especially at the end of the game, when you can tell LSU had an MA where they're sending all the backers, and I want to say Perkins, number 7, comes from the outside. You had a cat wide open over the middle on that. I believe it was 4th down, to where you try to force it in on that slant and kind of just going through it. All you do is go through one progression, you're going to see Buddy wide open. I felt like that was I would say uncharacteristic. Maybe others would say that's not uncharacteristic of Cade Klubnik, but I was disappointed that he wasn't able to capitalize on that MA by LSU's defense. But LSU's defense, to me, was the was a sticking point of this game. It's like, how are they going to be? Nussmeier's a great quarterback. He's going to be a good quarterback. He's going to operate really well. The defense has always kind of let them down in the past, giving up a lot of yardage. Clemson has a lot of talent across the board on both sides of the ball.
Also returning as well.
Yeah, across the board. And for LSU's defense to show up like that, like they were flying around, man. It was a fun game to watch.
The Weeks boys were out there playing.
Weeks boys were out there playing.
I mean, you brought him up, but is it Perkins? Harold Perkins Jr.? I mean, he was out there flying around. He is back in a big way. I mean, Josh Pate said he's the honey badger, but twice his size.
Yeah.
The biggest question mark going in this game for a lot of people that were choosing Clemson was LSU's offensive line. I thought they had a good day.
Yeah.
I thought they had a good day in protection.
Day.
They had a great day moving the line of scrimmage. Like, I am very impressed by LSU and answering the bell, especially in week 1 when they've been 0-5 since 2019.
Mm-hmm.
It's impressive. It's exciting to see what's going to happen with the Tigers.
Yeah, I feel like Garrett Nussmeier won the most of all the big time quarterbacks this week because he got the marquee matchup. He was dueling against another big time quarterback.
Like a Heisman favorite to a lot of people.
Right.
Two veteran quarterbacks, and he came out on top.
Yeah, and he made it obvious too, in my opinion. I know I'm a South Carolina fan, but objectively, I'm watching the game and I'm thinking Nussmeier looks like he's on a different level than Klubnik.
At Clemson too.
At Clemson. Like it didn't feel like they were playing a road game the way they were playing.
Right.
A lot of people talking about Nussmeier's when he get into really tight games like he would press a little too much and make mistakes. Seemed like a lot of maturity came from him when he was like, hey, if he runs into an issue, let's throw the ball away, let's check it down, let's live for another down.
Yeah.
So
it made me happy to watch. As much as I can't stand LSU after last year, but because Clemson's D-line, Clemson's defense played well. And I will say this. That their safety number 5, Clemson's.
Yeah.
I cannot wait until number 16 on South Carolina puts his helmet in his chest and bowls him over at the end of the year. That guy is nonstop running his mouth.
Might get called for targeting.
Get it? Yeah, that's fine. Offensive targeting. But nonstop running his mouth on plays that he's not necessarily making. And Clemson is always good for one white dude on their defense to be that guy. And their safety was doing it. And I'm like, I cannot wait till Lenore Sellers gets to just run you over.
South Carolina Gamecock, JP Hovey, you went to Atlanta this weekend.
I did.
A lot of optimism coming out of that game. The one thing that I was pissed about, because I didn't feel like it should have been close to the way it was, is Johnson, that backer, number 0, looks like a unit, a stud. He picks it off and doesn't go down in the end zone, pins him back on the 1 or 2 yard line. Lenoris ends up getting sacked for a safety. That kind of keeps them in the game.
Yeah.
Because you guys looked like that first drive, everybody's tweets coming out, oh, South Carolina, juggernaut.
Everybody was tweeting.
Everybody, dude.
Dude, it was crazy. It was kind of perfect for us. There's a lot to clean up in the O-line, but we had our big flashy plays that the team can be excited about going into the week, that the coaches can get excited about, and we have so much to coach them on. But we're just a fun team all around because we're so it sounds crazy to say, but we're star-studded with Lenore Sellers, the 3rd and 6 or 3rd and 12 play he makes on his feet, shedding 2 tacklers. I don't know if any other quarterback is able to do that in the country. Dylan Stewart, 7 tackles, 1 sack, 1.5 tackles for a loss.
Yeah.
And when he's making his sack, because he was getting double teamed all day. And it was Virginia Tech was starting to drive. They were on the 35-yard line, and Stewart just flies out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Sacks him. J.R. Johnson, the linebacker, insane. And then the punt return.
Something that
Beamer ball. To cap it all off with old Frank there too. And Dylan gives him the ball after the game. Or not Dylan, Sellers gives him the ball after the game.
Dude, one thing I thought was so weird by Virginia Tech is there were multiple passing downs where they would pull a guard, keep it open, slide to the left, pull a guard on Stewart. And it's you're just asking to get your ass beat.
Right.
And then when they had to get in those the situations where they have to throw the ball, they're not chipping. A lot of times they weren't sliding. And it's bro, that guy is a fucking menace. He will ruin your day. Yeah. You ended up doing it. It's where is from a coaching staff standpoint, how are you not making that adjustment at halftime, being hey, we got to put 2 guys in this guy at all times. That's just what it is. Mm-hmm. Let's get to the second level. I know Johnson, he's an absolute stud, but let's get to Johnson. So this
Yeah.
Stewart kid doesn't ruin the day for us.
And not to full on just talk about South Carolina. VTech was fighting now.
Dude,
Their
their
quarterback was nice. Their backers are good.
Quarterback had some
Receivers.
nice balls. The receivers
They were making some plays
Yeah.
making
down
some
the
plays and
sideline.
having just a couple of drops where it's like we might be saying something
The
different.
drops made no sense.
Yeah.
Because they're making plays where like our DB is in position, playing great defense, and they're laying out for it, snagging
Yeah.
it. I'm like, yo, this
Bro,
is a
how
good
about
team.
Nick Harbor? Like early in the game, gets a couple catches, has a drop where you're like, that's what everyone's been saying about him all last year. And then just that 10-1 speed down. Like,
Yeah.
it was
He's so fast.
I mean, the play action, it does feel like a video game. And this
Yeah.
is the first time everybody's been running that play in the video game. And this is the first time we've got to see it in real life.
Yeah.
And I swear though, we've got to clip his mouthpiece because it's never in and it's pretty long. And he hasn't been playing wide receiver enough to where his hands are as sure as they could be. And when they showed me the replay on the screen, the mouthpiece was like kind of dangling where his hands were. And I'm like, dude, if this lime green mouthpiece ruins this moment, we're going to have some problems. But I liked it because we have a lot of other talented receivers, and I wish they could have gotten involved more. But I like it going forward because other teams, it's like they don't really know exactly what we're going to be bringing.
Mm-hmm.
And the best part about Shane Beamer, we always, under him, have played our best football in November. So if we're able to rise our level of play in August and September and October just a little bit, we're going to be in good shape.
Just from watching the game, it's like the obvious to
there.
me is cleaning up just the O-line. It seems like there's
specifically the left guard and left tackle.
miscommunications going on
Yeah.
to where it's not like there's times where they get beat, but I'm saying there's times where there's just like free runners. Guys coming up
runners.
the middle and just not picking up the pressure.
That 3 technique had a nice little forklift on that left guard. Like, it's one of those you got to tip the cap and be like, that's a hell of a move.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a hell of
They
a move.
apparently they have a really good D-line.
Yeah, well, it seemed that way, and they were running games really well.
Yeah.
Like they were definitely identifying which side you were sliding to, and then manipulating in a game on the man side. So yeah, if I'm
excited.
walking out of that, I'm a little nervous with that left tackle and left guard.
Just kind of the lull in the second,
Yeah.
third quarter because you kind of want to keep the momentum. Obviously, the first drive is like the first drive you want to have in any game.
Right.
But what I love about watching South Carolina is like we're talking about the effort and the loafing and stuff on Bama.
Dude,
it's like
they fly
there's no
around.
lack of effort with the South Carolina Gamecocks.
Dude, and they send a message on defense. Like, there's always 3 guys around the ball, and there's always one dude that comes in and lays an extra hit.
right.
Like, when it's getting stood up, you just see a guy leave his feet. And
Right. You can
crack
tell they're
someone.
excited and they
Yeah.
love to play with each other.
Right.
It obviously
Dude.
starts with Coach Beamer.
Yeah.
The way he gets everybody juice, he's done such a good job there. But you feel the energy with South Carolina.
And
you
it's
can tell
that
it meant so much to
defense.
Beamer. Yeah,
Like, the style of defense we play is very, like, opportunistic, and it leaves open big plays because you're trusting your DBs and your safety to really, like, win their matchup.
Yeah.
But it frees up the linebackers to do their thing. And if you have a good linebacker core, which it looks like we do.
Yeah, you play in South Carolina this week. You're putting on that film, and you're a little nervous with that defense. They fly around.
Yeah.
After the first play, it's a little like bounce out. Sellers just hits like a easy little pass. They get like 7 yards. Beamer's running at the player and
Yes.
daps him up.
The tight end with the cowboy collar. But yeah, that's college football right there.
That's the culture.
That is the culture. And dude, seeing Shane Beamer as the game's ending, picking up his kid, look at him, like showing
Yeah.
him around, like they're just looking up in the air, like brings a tear to your eye because you're just like, you could tell how much that meant to him. Frank Beamer's there. He's wearing a Gamecock t-shirt, and it's like,
I have a question. And this has nothing to do with my SEC bias. Anything is truly just I want answers from everyone. Obviously, JP, they Gatorade dumped Beamer after the game. Is that?
I think it's strictly for the Virginia Tech ties.
Yeah,
I
the
think
Beamer
it's,
Bowl
I think
for
it's
sure.
so fitting.
I'm not. I don't have a stance on this point. I just want to know.
Guys,
I
What are you
loved-
wanting to know?
They dumped Gatorade on Beamer
On
after they
Beamer
won that
after the
game.
win.
And what are you asking?
Is it appropriate for the moment? Is it too much? Week 1, like, and I'm not here like doing some underlying like I have a stance. I just saw this on Twitter like 20 minutes ago, and so while we're talking about it, I'd like to.
I think from a casual fan, I can see why we dumping Gatorade. But I think if you understand the history of Beamer ball, Virginia Tech, Coach Shane Beamer going there while his dad was the head coach.
Sellers giving Beamer too. Big Beamer.
Yeah.
The game ball was cool too.
Yeah.
So
I
I'm
think it was
just
appropriate,
curious.
and I think it speaks to like the tightness and the culture that they have going on there. That even the players identified that Coach Beamer was having such a moment with his old man being there.
Yeah.
You take a punt return to the house. That's
Love
Beamer ball, man.
Yeah. Shout out
love
Austin Winfrey too.
I mean, yeah,
South Carolina coach.
You think it's too much, Jack?
No, I really don't. I'm not taking a stance. I just,
What
we're
would
just
your
throwing
stance be?
I don't know. Because, I mean, as a Tennessee fan, we rushed the field beating Bama this past year, and people were pissed about that. I even was. So, like, I know there's probably one or two South Carolina fans out there that are like, this is too far. Like, we're getting ahead of it. But then I think because of it being the Beamer Bowl, yes, it is. It's justified.
No, I don't see any issue with it at all.
Cool.
Dude, his dad was a legendary coach there for almost 3 decades.
Yeah, he was a legend.
Gets to open up the
Has a
season
statue.
against his old man's old team. He grew up there. Talk about Shane wearing a headset, wanting to be a coach, watching his dad being like, I used to have friends over and I used to go in the other room and pretend to call plays with the headset on because my dad was like that. And now you get to sit there as a head coach for the Gamecocks and watch your dad's old team and have the opportunity to play against them in a, whatever, the Aflac, an Atlanta game.
Because you haven't played him since, what was it, 1991?
Yeah. Now,
The year your boy was born.
all I can hope is that Shane's son doesn't follow the same path as Shane. Because that just means in about 30 years, 40 years, I'm going to be facing Hunter Beamer on the opposite sideline. He's going to take down the Gamecocks. I need him on our staff if he wants to be a coach.
Maybe, he just takes over after a couple of South
What'll
Carolina
be fun
natties.
too with the next couple of weeks is Vanderbilt being spicy. Pavia looked really good. Their whole team looked good. Is they got Virginia Tech this week. They got VTech this week, and then week 3 you got Vandy at South Carolina. I think that's gonna be a fun game.
Shout
Yeah.
out, Cade.
We
Shout out
can
the boy
cut this
Cade
if we
McConnell.
need to, but I did see this on Twitter this morning. Both of Pavia's brothers were arrested on Saturday night.
Hell yeah.
Both of them.
For what?
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know.
surprising.
The MIPT?
I assume, I think it was PIs or just like drunk it.
I think they got in a drunk fight at a bar. Don't quote me.
We don't have to cut that.
It just matters more for the Pavia family.
Yeah, the Pavia family,
Yeah.
like, what else would you expect?
I mean, it really
A family
is.
full of wrestlers.
Yeah.
Like, shirts off,
exactly, yeah.
headbands on. They're
Yeah.
like, what'd you say?
Yeah.
No, my brother's the greatest. And they just take his ass down. Put him in a choke.
If they got in a fight solely for defending Diego's name, as a guy with 2 younger brothers, that shit would fire me up.
Fire, juice, yeah.
Yeah, maybe not though. But anyways, shout out
I
Cade.
kind of, we'll get to the locker room, but right now, early thoughts are I like Vandy.
It was
like Vandy
as
this
a
week.
Tennessee fan, it was
I thought you were saying
cool.
against South Carolina.
No.
Congrats to
we'll
Vandy
see.
for actually having a
I gotta
full
see him versus-
stadium. And I'm not making hateful comments. It actually is cool to see Vandy have fans in the stadium.
That's awesome.
Good for you guys.
Is
Y'all
it?
deserve it.
Shout out Vandy, man. Big one coming up this week for you guys. Nothing bigger than Oklahoma, Michigan, though.
gonna be fun.
Might be bigger than Texas, Ohio State.
And just for people tuned
be.
in, it seems like we're going to stream it.
Yeah.
We'll be doing Thursday night football in the NFL all season long. And there's going to be a handful that we do for college, but this seems
Yeah.
like this would be a fun one to
Yeah,
stream.
I think we streamed this one. I'm excited about it. Buddy, I'm telling you, you get the continuity in the offensive line from Michigan. That defense steps up, plays well. You get a good run game going. We could set Norman on fire. I mean, because if Oklahoma loses that game, they're calling for coach's head.
You think so?
I mean, yeah, the year they had last
I
year.
guess it depends if they lose, how they lose.
Yeah, but you look at Oklahoma, you have John Mateer. He's a Heisman. Everyone's saying Heisman. He's going to be sitting there, possibly holding up the trophy. He'll definitely be in a suit before Michigan, who has a quarterback that turned 18 years old 13 days ago, and he is able to walk in and get done what a lot of people think can't be done in Norman. I think people in Norman are. Apparently that fan base is as insane as they come, too. Just listen to a
Oklahoma's got
couple
strong
of...
one.
There ain't nothing out there, so
Yeah. It'll be very interesting to
Sooners
see.
and tornadoes, man.
Gooner of the month.
Gooner of the month. We don't have the envelope this week, do we? I got it. I'll do it. True classic.
No, done. Right?
Yeah. Gooner of the month. Oh, you want to do those first? Hop, 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 hop. All right, ladies and gentlemen, a couple of ad reads real quick. Simply Safe. What do you want to keep safe? Home, family, car, the shop, Bussin HQ. Traditional security systems only take action after somebody has already broken in. By that time, it's too late. Simply Safe is setting a new standard in home security with active guard outdoor protection. Simply Safe's monitoring agents can help prevent break-ins before they happen. AI-powered cameras backed by live professional monitoring agents monitor your property and detect suspicious activity. If someone's lurking around or acting suspiciously, those agents see and talk to them in real time, activate spotlights, and even contact the police, helping to proactively deter threats before they can escalate into a crisis. You can get 50% off your new Simply Safe system with professional monitoring and your first month free at simplysafe.com/bussin. Again, that's simplysafe.com/bussin. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
This next ad read and proud sponsor of the show, True Classic. We will be presenting our Employee of the Month, also known as the Gooner of the Month. But it doesn't happen without True Classic. Your boy is rocking True Classic right now. The new Pima shirts, they're new curved Pima shirts. They fit great. They feel great to where you look great. You guessed it. Additional highlights. Find True Classic at Amazon, in Costco, Sam's Club, and Target nationwide, or online at trueclassic.com/bussin. Look good, feel good, play good. You guys see these arms? Do you see these arms?
They look good. They look even better with that t-shirt on too. In my hand, I have an envelope. True Classic Gooner of the Month. Drum roll, please. This month's Gooner of the Month is Garrett.
Oh, we needed a win this week.
Gotta win. And I will say it was not close this week. You had a lot of votes.
What else is not going to be close?
Comments might be
Monroe, Alabama, yeah.
Comments might be saying this was pity voting, but this is not pity voting.
They might be. We're just saying it might be.
Well, then I won't tell you that I voted for Will. So,
Oh shit!
not a pity vote. This is earned. We needed a dub. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to the fans. Thank you to the boys.
You have been busting your ass, bro.
You've been crushing.
You've been
it.
keeping
Only up
everything
from here.
all the operations, all the merch, everything that you guys see online, merch wise, whether it's graphics. Yeah, we got some tees coming out with the G made this.
This will be coming out on Thursday.
September 4th.
This Thursday.
This Thursday, September 4th.
The Bussin' Bowl tees. My God.
I'll say this. I come in every day. I come into the shop. At one point, Garrett comes up to me. Hey, I want to show you something real quick. He's showing me Spooktober merch he's working on, the merch that just come out last week. He's showing me the Bussin' Bowl merch, the hats, everything. The dude is dialed in when it comes to the merch. I love it. It gets me a little rocked up when I see Bussin' with the boy stuff, taking new steps every single week. Shout out UG. You've done an incredible job. Not just with the merch, but with everything, man.
Moving targets
Appreciate
when
it.
we're traveling, keeping everybody in check with schedule, everything. You've been crushing.
Yeah, the next
would have
thing.
loved to have seen, because I know you would have still kept the optimism. Would have loved to have seen us traveling after the Bama game happened.
Seen what?
Like say the Bama game happens on Thursday, and then we're going the weekend through traveling, like just seeing how steady and poised you would have been in the pocket, knowing that you're ready to fight.
It would have been
anybody.
mask on.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah, it'll be less conversational.
I'll channel that internally, and then next time if a Nebraska fan gets crazy on Taylor, maybe I'll
Swing on his ass.
Yeah.
Then we
That's
apologize
the
to him.
next
Sorry,
notch.
Bama
Nebraska
just
fans.
lost.
Nebraska nastiest fan base. Becoming the nastiest fan base out there.
We got a chip on our shoulder. The expectations a little higher.
All the good
this
ones
year.
are dying off, man.
That's
all the ones that remember
Dad's
the
like, are we
90s.
booing? I'm like, yeah, the older generation's dying off. We got the new wave coming right
The
now.
new wave. Angry fans.
Yeah.
It was loud in Arrowhead, dude.
Yeah. I wish we got to like be more in it to feel
Yeah,
it. Because I was
agree.
watching, your boy, I was getting some free time.
Shout
and I
out
went back.
FanDuel, though. That was a nice spot to be.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah, FanDuel had a great setup for
Yeah.
us. But I watched the TV copy back, just kind of watched the flow of the game and everything. And you could feel like on third downs and everything else, like watching on TV, it was rocking. Arrowhead just number one rips
That was
to
a cool
begin with,
stadium.
like one of the best stadiums in the NFL. Their fans show up. Chiefs fans are also Husker fans. It was rocking.
Was it?
95% of tickets were sold to Nebraska fans. Nebraska also took over Nashville over the weekend because the volleyball team was playing against Kentucky at Bridgestone.
Let's fucking go.
And it was just a sea of red all over Nashville.
They were on
Volleyball
Mitch
school,
and
man.
I's flight.
Yeah.
back home without my AirPods.
Big Red travels, man.
How
Without
was
my
the flight?
AirPods.
You guys got delayed?
I know.
I raw dogged it the whole way home.
What was it,
Because of
45-minute flight though?
corporate
That tweet was
bastard with-
funny, bro.
I had another play that I was gonna quote tweet it later with almost your verbatim. Forgot the IQ level is so low on here, and just
Just
double
rip me.
down on it.
Yeah.
No, not rip you, rip everyone else. But yeah, that was a tough flight with no AirPods.
Not having a real ID ended up working out. They just had to like swipe my hands and just read it, and it said, "This guy's good."
Oh, so Real ID is kind of fake.
No, I think so. When I called the airport, they were like, "Yeah, we're still having some leeway." So I think eventually it's going to come to you need to get it or you're cooked.
Done.
Get your Real ID.
Yeah,
shout
I
out,
still
shout
don't
out
have
Real
mine. I need
IDs.
to
Get
get
on
on
it, people.
Moral of the episode: get your
on
real
it.
ID.
Dude, let's get to this Jason Kelce episode.
Just before we kick it, I do want to flirt a couple things out there for fans still on FanDuel. An over in win totals this year. I love the Titans over 5.5.
So much so, Taylor almost put it in his parlay.
I almost put in the parlay. They got murdered by Nebraska.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I know. Listen, I know Nebraska
Listen,
starts week
I think
one,
at this
baby.
point, it's like when the game is going that way, I'll sacrifice my money for your happiness.
Yeah, and what I usually do anyway, like I didn't bet on the -6.5. I put Nebraska money line in a parlay because I personally hate like close. I just hate doing spreads with Nebraska because I don't want to be bummed. I want to be fired up that we won,
Right.
But I don't want to be bummed if we didn't cover. Like I don't want my emotional state being wrapped up.
Will
Yeah.
had us all drink the Kool-Aid for the spread and behind closed doors just took
Yeah,
money
because
line.
the way he was talking in the locker room, we got done with the locker room, and I go, Will, tell me why I shouldn't put thousands and thousands of dollars on Nebraska -6.5. He goes, buddy, trust me. Trust me, buddy. Like I gotta look at myself in the mirror too and be like, I gotta bet responsibly when it comes to Nebraska. Thank God we had that
I
conversation.
say that, and I still might have. Let me just check my settle bets. I had kind of an up and down weekend.
It would be a tough.
South Carolina saved me because I took them -1.5 in the first quarter, and it was +100. Got that banger.
All right, we'll just wait to start this Jason Kelce episode until Will pulls his FanDuel app.
I'm just I'm high on the over 5.5 wins for Tennessee this year. Lost Notre Dame, lost the same game parlay with Notre Dame. Won South Carolina, 2 of them. Lost Clemson. Lost my 5-leg parlay. Bama, Clemson, Notre Dame all fucked me. Lost my 4-leg parlay. Texas, Clemson fucked me. Lost my 6-leg parlay. Texas, Bama, Notre Dame. I needed to have a little bit more variety. I did take Nebraska -6.5. Lost that.
Can I see it real quick?
Yeah.
Thanks, bud.
A lot of parlays.
Okay,
I tell you what,
yeah.
the parlays are gonna listen. You get a week under your belt, you start seeing the field a little bit better. And I do want to apologize.
Place the day of the game too.
I'm over one. Yeah. What time did I post it? 2:19 p.m. When
So probably just right before we took off. Before we took off.
yeah, I was.
Dude, you should have seen this man, how nervous he was in that fourth quarter. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I kind of hope Cincinnati gets 3. So Nebraska can win by 7.
Yeah, Taylor won,
and we
he's
can
like, hey,
and we can
overtime,
cover.
right? We can still cover. I'm like, no. Man,
And Will's just thinking, we got to get this win. And he's right, too. Momentum was all on Cincinnati's side. They scored before. They stopped Nebraska, and they had
Fortunately,
a minute 10.
Sorsby can't really sling it that well.
I know.
Maybe he can, though, and the defense just held him to 67 yards.
He was making some throws.
Yeah, he had that one on the
See,
play.
dude,
67
when I was
yards
watching
worth.
Raiola during the game, I'm thinking, he's not playing that well. And then you pull, and then I think in the third quarter, I pulled the stat sheet, like, oh, he's kind of crushing, actually. So it's kind of like
That's
weird
why I
when
wanted
you
to
watch the game and then
yeah,
the stats.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to watch the TV copy too, just to get like a feel.
Right. But boys, Bryce Underwood looks like he could be the fucking guy.
He does.
He looks as
looks
advertised.
awesome.
The throw, the touch, like he really might be the greatest ever quarterback to put on the maize and blue uniform in college. I mean, obviously we had Tom Brady, but he wasn't.
Right, he wasn't like
He wasn't Tom Brady
He
yet.
wasn't him.
Like really, like. No, he ain't better than Taysom Hill. I mean, no, I don't think anybody will ever
those
touch
hands
Taysom
he
Hill.
had at practice. Remember when he was one-handing them
Buddy.
balls?
And if they can just unlock a run, like him running the ball,
It'll come.
because tell you what, Illinois State, dude, they kind of ran pretty well
Jason
against
Kelce.
Oklahoma. They ran pretty well against Oklahoma. I'm just saying, Jason Kelce episode, but also, dude, Michigan could upset.
Kelce. We
Underdogs by 4.5 right now in Norman.
We get it.
Wait for the locker room. Wait for the locker room because I'm feeling kind of spicy about it right now.
Jason Kelce.
Jason Kelce.
Stud.
Bryce Underwood, Heisman.
Enjoy the interview with Jason Kelce.
All right, this interview is brought to you by the one, the only Bud Light. Bud Light is always brewed with 4 simple ingredients for a clean, crisp taste. Bud Light is the official sponsor of the NFL Draft, and Tight End U, the UFC, Shane Gillis' 2025 tour. You're wondering, Bud Light partners, can I know a couple? I'll tell you a couple. Peyton Manning, George Kittle, Taylor Lewan, Baker Mayfield, Will Compton, Emmitt Smith, Shane Gillis, Post Malone, Dustin Poirier. Do me a favor, stock up on Bud Light. Head to www.budlight.com/locator to find a store near you. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Let's get into this episode.
Will's that like?
Oh, I was
Will
like,
is-
You're like the mascot
when they
for
were
Nebraska
showing
here?
you
Like,
guys, when they were showing you guys
Nebraska history.
on the
There we
camera,
go.
I was like, if they want some juice in the stadium, they'll get the camera.
They'll get the
panned over.
camera on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We'll get the boys rolling.
it was a weird thing because it was set up. We're rolling. We good?
We are rolling.
It was a Cincinnati home game, so like all of the band and like things on the jumbotron, a lot of it was set up for like to be Cincinnati centered.
Yeah.
But like the entire crowd was Nebraska crowd. So yeah, it was a bit awkward, I felt like, but
It was close though. Sorsby, that quarterback.
yeah, Cincinnati played, it was a weird game. They like weren't playing bad offensively, but they didn't have any points to show. They kind of got like behind the sticks a few times, and Nebraska just felt like they had the ball.
Yeah.
I don't know what the time possession was, but it had to be.
Yeah, it was pretty lopsided, but
Yeah.
it was like Sorsby's legs was again outside of that. It's not like Cincinnati had much offense outside of him running the football.
Well, I thought the number 3 Walker kid ran the ball really well too.
Right behind.
They were running well, and it didn't even feel like Sorsby was throwing the ball poorly. It just felt like Nebraska's DBs were all over the receivers. I don't know.
And when there was some opportunities, the receivers just didn't make
dropped,
plays.
right?
Yeah.
Like he threw some really nice fade balls, and
I mean, Cincinnati had a couple openings. There was that one in like the first quarter where that receiver kind of had great separation. He just threw it over his head a little bit.
Yeah.
There's a couple, but that like 2-minute drive, first
Yeah.
play of 2 minute, I swear to God that he just told the receivers, run verts. I'm gonna go ahead and get 8 right
Yeah,
here to start
for
us
sure.
off on a good on a good little go here.
It was like a little Patrick Mahomes style.
Buddy, he is an athlete.
Yeah.
Like being on the field and watching him, you're just like, this kid looks like he looks the part for sure.
I agree.
Him, the tight end,
Yeah.
like all of them. Where
Yeah.
I was impressed by the way they look. But yeah, I feel like week 1 jitters.
For sure. They had like 3 false starts. They're
Yeah.
playing in the loudest stadium in the world, I guess. I don't know if that's how they advertise it, right?
That's how they
I
advertise.
think that's
it.
how they advertise.
So we'll give it to them.
In
No
the world,
pushback.
in the world, it's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
there's like, is that world or is that NFL?
Yeah.
Because I feel like the
You had the
Ravens-
mix of Husker fans, which are diehard fans. The place was rocking. They're also all Husker fans are pretty much Chiefs fans.
Yeah.
Trav's in the building. Obviously, he plays for Cincinnati, but you had that just mix of
It was fun. They didn't know what to do. It was like, are we supposed to cheer when Travis is on the jumbotron or boo? It was like, it would start with a cheer and then he'd like point to his hat and they'd be like, boo.
Yeah.
Hey, a little background though on Nebraska. So my senior year when we played them, they beat our ass.
Okay.
And then after the game, all the fans are like, "Hey, great job. Hope you guys are safe." Like they're like known as like the nicest fans of all time.
Yeah, it's
And then all of a sudden,
typical Midwest.
I'm walking in the stadium and it's like, "Fuck Michigan, Taylor Ball." I'm like wearing all Nebraska. I'm like, this is not the Nebraska I know and love.
It's a new generation.
The Bearcats come out, they're booing like during they're reviewing a play, they're screaming at the refs. I'm like, this fan base,
changed.
The vaccine's hitting them. Finally. There's something's going on in their bloodstream.
I was telling Taylor that the older generation, the nice ones, they're dying out. And now it's like the youth that's coming up.
Yeah.
We're sick and tired of being sick and tired because we fucking lose every
Well,
year.
the old generation was, they were fat cats. They won a bunch of national championships and they remember all the good days.
Yes.
The new guys, like, we got to get it going with Nebraska again.
I was nervous though. I was sweating bullets because I thought we'd take care of it.
What did you think about how was the Nebraska play about as well as you thought they would? Like, what did you think of Nebraska?
I was surprised we didn't take as many. We didn't really try to press it downfield at all.
Right.
Like I felt like everything was short. Like you look at Real's
Cincinnati's
stat line,
playing
he was like
awful
33
lot.
for 40 something.
Yeah.
But everything was like they like loved the spacing concept. They ran the football really well. I think
did.
anytime they tried to get outside the tackles where they struggled,
Mm-hmm.
but Emmett Johnson and that old line was doing a good job in between the tackles.
Yeah.
I feel like we have some good receivers that can win one-on-ones. But where I was surprised is us just not taking shots downfield.
Yeah.
So that was kind of my break. The defense, I knew we had a lot of new faces, so I was curious at how we'd play. We didn't stop the run really well. But whenever, like again, Nebraska historically, we lose those one-score games in the fourth quarter. Our special teams is bad, but we got a punter that was putting it inside, 2 inside the 10, 3 inside the 20.
Yeah.
Field goal kicker, again, we usually lose games with special teams. We bang one in from 52, which mattered because we only won by
Huge.
3.
Yeah.
So there's like optimism that I obviously have. I always will have. But when I look at everything, it's like usually the ball doesn't bounce our way. We don't get the penalty at the right time. We're usually fumbling the ball or missing a special teams play. Like those things were happening. For me, it's just how do we get the ball downfield? Because Raiola can spin it. It's just opening it up and letting them do it.
Yeah, it was definitely felt like a first game
Yeah.
Yeah.
on both teams' behalves.
Yeah.
doubt.
Because when it was 6-3, it's like, I'm sure
It was
everybody's
just weird. I was like, why is this score
kind of like a
it's like
boring
so
game.
odd? Like it's like
Yeah.
each team has kind of had plays when they made mistakes, got behind the chains, and yeah. Anyways,
The thing that impressed me with Nebraska was their offensive line, because there was all that talk about that nose tackle, that 3 technique y'all have.
Corleone.
He's the real deal. I'm walking by, I'm like, this motherfucker looks like the real
like a
deal.
boulder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is legit like a boulder. So I'm thinking, yeah, you got to go like perimeter type of run plays, some pin pull type schemes. But all the success was between the tackles.
Yeah.
which
they
was
ran power pretty well. They got the fullback in the game.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Come on now.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
got the fullback in there.
23 personnel on the field. At
Cincinnati,
one point, it was
too.
just like, all right,
Cincinnati
this
was
is Big
running
Ten
the ball.
Yeah, baby.
Cincinnati was running the ball well too. I feel like both offensive lines were moving the line of scrimmage pretty good, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
boys were leaning on them out there.
lean on. But if I was Rule, I mean, you're looking at that being like, we know what our strength is. Like our boys can do gap scheme, they can do power. Like let's just keep that our bread and butter.
Can't get a
And-
false start on the 1 yard line.
No, but that Emmett Johnson kid, that running back, he is impressive.
Yeah,
He
good
is-
balance.
There was only one time I saw one guy get him down. It was a great tackle by, I think it was like a nickel or something like that out in the open field when he caught the ball. But that kid, no one's tackling him. He's impressive.
Yeah. I hope you guys go 11-1.
Yeah.
So that
I
win
hope,
looks
I hope you
really
guys
good.
go undefeated now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This
luck.
is as Midwest as it gets right here. Hey, now that it's over, I just want you to know.
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
Yeah.
He's the
I hope
craziest.
Cincinnati's a sleeper in this game.
God, Cincinnati wins the Big 12.
Yeah.
And you just see that's how good we are.
Right.
But
Right.
hey,
Look, you come out of that game and there's a lot of optimism. There's a lot of people that had Nebraska in their college football playoff due to strength of schedule, Matt Rule, year 3, all that stuff. But you look back historically, it's like, Josh Pate tweeted about it. Oregon, Idaho was pressing them. They end up, having the year that they had
Surviving.
last year, winning the Big Ten. Notre Dame loses to Northern Illinois. They're in the national title.
yeah.
It's, you get the bad plays out of the way early.
Are you a big follower of Cincinnati?
I don't follow college football as much.
Yeah.
And I follow Cincinnati, of course, just because it's alma mater, but I don't get as much as I've wanted to. I'm trying to get back more this year. We got a new indoor facility that we're unveiling, and I want to go back to homecoming. I just feel like I've kind of been disconnected for a few years, and now that I'm retired, I realize I can go back.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Your
looking
college
forward to it.
football juices are going to wake up.
It was also just fun going down on the field, seeing I played D-line with Walt Stewart, and I was coaching there, and you see the familiar faces, you see the security guy that was on all the buses, and you kind of get flashback to a previous decade and previous moment in your life, and it's really cool. So I'm going to try and go back more now.
It makes you appreciate, you just think to yourself, it's crazy how fast time goes.
For sure.
Because you see all the stuff you walking on, and then obviously having the career that you did, and now you get to look back and be like, holy shit, all this stuff took place in a 16-year period, and it just went by like that.
And it's over now, but it's cool going back and seeing the familiar faces for sure, and seeing how it's changed and progressing. I think it's fun times.
What's it like for you having all the success that you've had and knowing that you're a walk-on at Cincinnati?
I don't know. I don't think about it too. I think that the walk-on honestly helped me, if I'm being very frank. I think it was something right away that you weren't given anything from the get-go, and you had to come in and prove yourself, and it kind of put a chip on my shoulder. So I was the dickhead on scout team that the center, Jeff Reinstettler hated me because I would give him a stinger because I would try and run through his face. And Yeah.
That's the worst type of guy.
Yeah, it's the way I was
Yeah.
like, it's like I watched the movie Rudy and idolized Rudy so much. And then you get to like a certain point, you're like, Rudy's kind of an asshole to some of these guys.
No doubt.
I respect it, but yeah.
Right. Like you're sitting in your like 7th year at the Eagles and some guy's trying to do that and you're not even remembering
It's like,
that you
I'm
did
just
it. You're
trying to
like,
get the
bro,
game day, dude. My shoulders are
for the
fucked.
love of God. You're in shells. He's trying to bull rush. You're like, what the fuck are we doing?
And this is the
man?
universe getting it back on me.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I was Scout Team Player of the Year. I was very happy with that. So
That's awesome.
That is
so I mean, I think that it and then also if I'd have been a scholarship player, I don't know how I would have handled being told to move to offensive line. Like I think I was a walk-on, so when I first got proposed that question for like a spring ball, they're like, "Hey, we want to try out at center, Kels." And I'm like, I just lost like 20 pounds because I got like my 20 pounds freshman weight up from drinking beers, partying, not having to play games, and then over the winter I had to lose a bunch of weight to try and get back to spring ball at a 235, which is what I wanted to be at. And they're like, "Hey, we're going to move you to center." I'm like, why didn't you guys tell me this? I wouldn't have just lost all this weight if you knew. And they knew they were doing it anyways. But yeah, I think so. I went there, had a decent spring at 235 playing center, and they said, "We're going to keep you there." And I don't know if I would have been a scholarship player, if I would have been, I'll just transfer, I'll just go someplace else. Or, but they're like, yeah. I said, all right, well, I'm not just going to put 60 pounds on for free. And they're like, okay, well, we'll give you a scholarship. We can't do it in the fall. We'll do it in the winter once we get one freed up. But if you stay there, we'll put you on scholarship. So I don't know. I think it's a lot of ways my career ended up benefiting greatly from being a walk-on. I think a lot of times I see like 5-star kids, 4-star kids where they let all these politics and like they view themselves as like a linebacker or a safety or whatever. And it messes with what's in their best interest, which usually coaches see right away. It's like they know most of the time, like this kid's skill sets and attributes are better geared for this. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I think when you have, I don't want to say like a big head, but like you come in with all of these expectations, it's hard to get off of those, especially as a young kid.
Mm-hmm. When you go through winter conditioning, you're getting all this weight off, and the coaches pull you and they're like, "Hey, we want to move you to center," and your conversation is, "I don't want to do this for free."
Buddy, I was thinking, dude, we kind of glossed over him being a sophomore, being like, "I'm negotiating for a scholarship."
Like you're a walk-on. Like we all know how kind of walk-ons are treated. Basically, you're first for those people that don't know who are watching this. Like when the walk-ons come in, and it's like. Basically, like you see the SEALs do. It's like, we're going to weed out the weak here. Like, who really wants to be here and who really just wants to wear the jersey and like try to get the
walk-ons. Truly, you do as you're told.
You do as you're told.
For sure.
Yeah, you're like less than the offensive lineman. You're like
and you're getting crushed. The coaches are motherfucking you. And like I remember that winter, we were doing like winter conditioning. We just had, so Mark D'Antonio recruited me. He left my first year. And we had Brian Kelly came in and they brought in a completely new offense and completely new coaches. We retained maybe like 1 or 2 guys, but it was brand new. And I remember Mike Elston is the tight ends coach, and we're going through winter conditioning. And he's also the special teams guy, and he is motherfucking me. He's like, he's like crushing me, saying like you're not shit and all this, right? In a good way, right? Like I'm not trying to. I like Mike Elston for this, but he was trying to figure out who I was, and like I freaking made me work my ass off, and like I'm freaking busting my ass. These fucking winter conditioning drills. Board pushes on the freaking turf. They fucking suck. You're running stadium steps. In some ways I miss it. Like I miss the like agony of going through all that stuff now. At the time it sucked. But then like once you get that respect, it was like there, right? Like I'm running down on kickoff and knee braces as a redshirt freshman.
Hell yeah.
Like wedge busting. Let's fucking go, baby.
Trying to set the tone.
yeah. So, yeah, it was you are the tackling dummy of the team when you're a walk-on, right? They're just filling spaces to have, all the guys they want for all the drills they want to do, basically.
Mm-hmm. And once you get the scout team player of the year, you bring that plaque, you throw on the head coach's
That's
desk,
right.
You go, "You want me to play here?"
You know the value I bring.
You see the value.
Yes.
The effort's
Yes.
there.
You want me to be a center.
You want me to go to center.
That's right.
You see that plaque. You have to do something
So
about
internally,
it.
you for your own ego, you hated the move of like them wanting you to go to center.
Well, I don't know that I hated it. I just had never done it. And I had never thought of myself as an offensive lineman. So the guy who really moved me to offensive line was Paul Longo, the strength coach of Cincinnati. And he had done this with a few other guys. So part of me was excited about, like he did Joe Staley. So he did the same thing with Joe Staley of Central Michigan. And Joe went on to have a phenomenal career with the 49ers. And I'm like, he had done a few, done with a couple guys at Iowa as well. And I just felt like he sees something in me. And it was the first bit of like anything from being like a walk-on where somebody's like, hey, like this kid's got like some potential. And he like really believed that I could be a great offensive lineman. So I wouldn't say that it was like, I was not looking forward to it. I just had never done it. And it was so foreign. And then to put that kind of weight on, I was just like, I'm just going to say this because it seems like they want me to do this.
Yeah.
I can feel in the room like they want me to be a center. They think I could progress into this. So, yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. How long do you think it took you to like digest the playbook? And
A
a
lot.
big conversation that, we have this conversation a lot when like Sue, who episode hasn't come out yet, but talking about how defense is more like, the play, but it's more reactionary.
Yeah.
Offensive line, it takes
gotta
takes a
think.
genius out there to get things
Yeah.
done. You got to understand, especially at center.
Yeah.
Like tackles, you can have a big dumb idiot at tackle. And be
At
like, hey, he's
center.
an athlete. Let him do his thing. But at center, like there's so much you have to digest. I don't know what Brian Kelly's offense is really like. If it's like kind of pointing to the direction you guys are going to go.
That's it pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. You're like,
it's off the point, not off the mic.
yeah,
And
you're zoning into an area, not necessarily a person, which
Yes.
is a way easier.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
And the spread aspect of it clears the box up. Defenders have to go out. So it was,
Makes it real clean.
yeah, and it was no huddle. So the playbook is condensed by nature of a no huddle offense. So it was a good, welcome to that position. I had a good coach, Jeff Quinn, who ended up being a head coach right after I left at Buffalo for a couple of years. And I had a lot of great teaching right away. And then it was an easier offense, I would say, from like a mental standpoint. And then also, I think playing defense helped me play offensive line and understand structure and where linebackers are at and why, this guy's over here, like he should be in this gap. Like if he's stacking the nose guard, they're probably that safety's either going back or they're going to blitz or all that stuff, right? Like I understood why linebackers would be in certain alignments, and that helped me understand like nobody's in this A gap. Somebody's going to end up in this A gap. It's either going to be the 3 technique or somebody's going to blitz off the edge. And yeah. So I think that helped my transition into the offensive line position.
When did you think like, oh, the NFL is a real possibility for me?
Once, probably my junior year, you start. It becomes at least it became apparent to me when you're playing with guys that you think I'm just as good as these guys are, and then they start getting opportunities in the league. And I think my junior year is when I really started to be a pretty darn good player, and I'm seeing like Connor Barwin, I'm trying to Trevor Canfield. There's all these guys at Cincinnati are getting opportunities, and it's like then agents are calling you, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna at least get a shot at doing this potentially.
Right. It's not over.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to be able to walk in.
I did not think I was just hoping to at least get an opportunity to go in. But yes.
When you were going to the NFL, was it? Did you think you were going to go higher than the 6th round, or for you the entire mentality was, I just need an opportunity to get in camp?
So I didn't know where I was going to go. I had appendicitis at the combine. I did all this work to try and weigh 295 at the combine. That was my goal. And I played in college at 280. So I was eating all this food, trying to get my weight up. And then all of a sudden I get sick. I'm throwing up, shitting my brains out, like not good stuff, right? I'm going in between like that railroad or like meeting hall where all the coaches are in.
Yeah.
I'm going with one team, going to the bathroom, throwing up, going to another team.
These are
the
the officials you're talking about, correct? The official visits? Or
no,
just like the train station?
Just in the train station. Like
Really?
like those. Like I'm like going in and back. Like Detroit's like, hey, come see me next. I'm like, yeah, I'll be right there. And then I'm fucking in the bathroom for 15 minutes, like shitting. And
shit.
And I thought I had like a stomach bug. I thought I had sushi the night before. I'm like, maybe I ate some fucking raw fish that didn't sit well.
Yeah.
And luckily, Ramley, I felt better the last day. Good enough where I was like, okay, if I need to run, because this is like the one strength I have. If I don't go out here, if I don't run,
Yeah.
I'm not going to be
It's
drafted.
over.
Yeah, I am
yeah.
fucked. And I go out there, run, do pretty well.
What was your 40?
40 was 4.92 official.
But you now can look back at that and being like, appendicitis, all this. You're
Yeah,
I
easily
also
afraid.
ran, dude. I also ran in the wrong cleats. I tried to get. I made the mistake of trying to get the lightest cleat possible. So I got like this soccer cleat that was like the lightest shoe that had ever been made at that point. It's like Lionel Messi's wearing this thing,
Yeah.
not knowing that like a 290-pound, 80-pound person shouldn't be wearing that
Right.
shoe. I felt like I was running this thing fucking barefoot. And then I went back and put my old cleats on, and then my times got better. And like the shuttle, still hold the all-time shuttle record 20-yard shuttle.
That's a big deal.
Better than LaShawn McCourt's 4.14. It's a damn good shuttle.
You got 4. What'd you
4.14.
get? God
You're
damn.
pretty good at those. What was yours?
What did I get?
Will and
I
I would
don't
run
know.
shuttles together
I
at
forget.
Vanderbilt. And
Yeah.
he would like beat me, like edge me out, and he'd be like, "You're pretty quick, man. That's kind of my thing."
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, all right, Will.
Quick inside the box.
Quick inside the box. I gotta move back and forth.
The only reason I remember my time so well is because after I did it, the guy said 4.14. I was like, what was that?
Oh, shit,
I had
let's
to run
go.
anywhere close to that. Like,
Dude.
I was like, I'm hoping I'm in the 4.2s. He says 4.14.
4.14 is incredible.
I'm like, yep, I'm not running another one. It's good for me.
When I got to the shuttle, because did you do vert then 40 then shuttle?
I think vert and broad jumper before the 40. Then we ran or maybe broad jump was it? Yeah, but that was before. And then the shuttle was at the very end of the workout.
My biggest stressor was the 40 because I knew I could run.
Yeah.
And once I ran the 40 and I got it like,
What was your time?
4.87.
Nice.
Big boy moving.
baby.
Come on.
There we
Come
go.
on. Felt good except for the year prior. Like Lane Johnson ran a 4.7. I was like, what the
Dude,
fuck?
4.71. And then Teron Armstead ran like a 4.69 or
Yeah, he
4.7.
ran something.
It was
crazy,
something
but
crazy.
He was also running at like 275, wasn't he?
Oh, I didn't
He had
know
like a
that.
crazy. I don't know if it was a weight thing.
Yeah.
But I looked at Lane. I was like, okay, that's the time
That's
I
a
have to
legit.
get.
Yeah.
But once I got to 4.8, like kind of after that, I was like, I'm solid.
Yeah.
I feel so good about today. The drills are gonna be what the drills are.
Exactly.
By the time I got to the shuttle, I was like, well, I got to get out of here.
There is something with the combine of like, if that 40 number is right, you're like, I just nailed this thing.
Life, man.
Don't even care about anything, anything else that's happening.
Look at your family go. I did it for you guys.
Yep.
We got
We
it dialed
made
in.
it.
Yeah, it hasn't even happened yet. Yeah.
The combine. I wish I had stories with you guys.
Hell of a pro day.
So-
Hell of a
Hell of a pro day.
Great
Yeah, you
pro
look at
day,
Lincoln,
Jason.
Nebraska.
And back to why did I feel like I was going to go higher? After that whole thing happened, I weighed 280 because I was sick or whatnot. Found out a week after that, got sick again, went to the emergency room, had appendicitis. And I was just like, I don't know what's about to happen. Like I only weighed 280 pounds. I don't remember the last time like a 280 pound center had been drafted at all. So I was kind of like, I could go as high as like 4th or 5th, or I could be an undrafted free agent. And so I was still frustrated. You know, you're watching all the rounds go by. You're like, I'm better than this guy. I should be going here.
Yeah.
And like all that. But once I got the call, I was fucking.
Where were
So
you
happy.
at? Where were you at depth chart wise? Going into Philly as a 6th rounder, were you at the bottom?
I was I got a very blessed, and again, like I got into an outstanding opportunity. Howard Mudd had just been with the Indianapolis Colts forever with Jeff Saturday, and he came into Philadelphia, and I think he envisioned me being the Jeff Saturday type mold, and I think he wanted me. He's since passed away, unfortunately, but I really do think he drafted me and thought that I was going to be like the starting center, even in the 6th round. And we had a guy, Jamal Jackson, who had been there for a long time, had been very successful, but was coming off of like a couple injuries back to back. So I think, and then also he was a bigger body with Juan Castillo. Howard wanted an athletic center to do these sprint draws and screens and things. So I was bumped up very quick in training camp. And this is the lockout year. I didn't even have an off season, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my first day getting the playbook was training camp in Lehigh, like 2 months before the first game.
You're like, what the fuck's even
Yeah.
going on?
Yeah, and like within
Once
2
the lockout
weeks,
happens,
they're starting to rep me with the starters. So it was like a very unrealistic opportunity that I got awarded very quickly.
And who was that center that was there for a long time?
Jamal Jackson.
What was that relationship like?
You know, he handled it very well considering it was kind of shitty
Mm-hmm.
position for him. He was nothing but great to me. He would help me out in terms of like how to make calls, how to navigate, like crowd noise, like all these things. And he was still on the team for the whole season. So Jamal was great. And it was weird. Like AQ Shipley was there that year.
Mm-hmm.
Mike McGlynn, I don't know if you guys remember that name at all, but we had a very awesome room, and Jamal was great.
How is it going on in your head when you kind of know what's going down and once you start learning about the politics of the NFL?
What do you mean?
Like with you overtaking his spot, just handling it as a guy that is overtaking kind of the throne and being a young guy and being like, you know, I don't want to rub people the wrong way.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I was just trying to play football well and not think about a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're a rookie, I think and I look back now and realize these type of dynamics, but in the time you don't realize it. Like you're just playing ball and you don't
You
have
just
to,
hear the 10-year vets being like, got to watch out, all these
Yeah.
politics, and you're like, that must be a thing that happens later.
Yeah.
You're not realizing
Or-
you're in it right then.
Yeah, and they weren't even talking to me about that at that point. You know what I mean? I think it's you realize later what an unbelievable opportunity that was, and like how that kind of happens throughout the NFL, and like draft picks and salaries and things like that, and how that all shapes a lot of the decisions that are made. But at that moment, I was just like beyond excited to try and play.
Yeah.
And it was Jamal handled it really well, especially considering like I don't think he was in a position in his career where like he was still trying to play and start. You know what I mean? That's a very tough position to be in, where it feels like I got awarded an opportunity and they were pushing for me to be the guy, and he was already there. So, he was great.
You were part of the Chip Kelly experience.
Yeah, we're gonna get Chip Kelly 2.0 coming up this season.
Yeah, with the Raiders. What for you, looking back, what were things that worked? What was things that were smoke and mirrors? And I also got to ask, like, what was it like for, an O-line group going through up-tempo practices?
Well, what year did you get to Washington?
I was there from 13
So you were there for that
until
first
18.
game?
Yeah.
That was like,
Well, the first game, like, it was like, oh shit, Chip Kelly in the NFL.
that's what I'm saying.
It's
like,
coming.
It felt like we were going to win the Super Bowl after that game. Like one game in the season is like nobody's fucking stopping us.
Yeah.
And I think Chip brought a very interesting mindset into the NFL that at that point really hadn't permeated, which is like there was this new spread offense and no huddle, and like not even just that, but like sports science, and like he took the organization in a direction that I think for a long time, when I first got to the NFL, like you're still just like lifting machines, and like it was like felt like it was dated, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of the things that he brought to the NFL, like we still do, and now other teams have taken on. Like RPOs are much bigger part of the NFL league wide, and the zone reads now a lot of teams implement them in certain situations, even if that's not your bread and butter. Like I think a lot of the things that he did have revolutionized in a lot of ways some of the ways that the NFL operates. But with that, there were also a lot of things that we were kind of shooting from the hip, and like, we were revamping like the schedule, and like Saturday before Sunday, we're like running full speed. And as a young guy, I didn't care because I don't really
You feel great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I actually felt good on game day running on Saturday before the game. But then you think about like a 13-year vet who's like got bad knees. He's like, brother, I can't fucking run on Saturday. And then I need my knees to feel really good. That's more important than priming my nervous system. So It was, in a lot of ways, I really appreciate and enjoyed that tenure. And I think that the Eagles got much better as an organization because of it. But it was definitely some innovative things that probably in retrospect might change a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Seems like it was before his time a little bit. It was what you're saying.
He was on the cutting edge of everything. And I think whenever you do that, you run the risk of, jumping in on something that sounds really good in theory, but if you implement it too fast, you don't think about some of the intended consequences or ramifications. It's hard to predict those. And some of the stuff was gold. And again, we still ended up implementing. And I think other teams kind of still, like now everybody has like a sports science or sport like conditioning person and like GPS monitors. I think we were like the first team doing that in practice. But there's a lot of other things that I think it was hard to get players to buy into some of them, especially veteran players. And I think in college it was a lot easier to do things with younger players, and
So much more depth. You got like 120 guys.
Yeah, 120 guys. But you also have kids coming from high school facilities.
Yeah, there's less of there's less ego. There's less guys that have been doing things. Like they're more bought in. Like they've only been to one university, at least at that time before the NIL thing. So it's like, it's just a different dynamic. And it was harder to do some of these things, especially with veteran guys who are like, I've been doing it this way my whole career. Why are we now doing this? And understandable. Like, Jason Peters was like the best tackle in the NFL. It's like how he knows how to be good on game day, right? Like how are we? So it was good. And when we were winning, it was fantastic. Once we started losing, then it became a little bit more of an issue. But I'm excited to see how he does with the Raiders this year. I really think that I'm sure he's learned a lot, and I think he is, by all intents, I think he's like a very, very smart person, and I think he's, calculated and savvy, and I'm wishing him and Pete Carroll and all those guys nothing but success.
That division is going to be maybe the most fun to watch.
Think about the coaches. I mean, just you have 4 like of the best coaches of the last 10, 20 years.
Yeah.
Like it's outrageous, and all of the teams have gotten better. Starts off right away with the Chargers and the Chiefs down in Brazil. It's gonna be a fun division.
Who do you got in that division?
I think I got to go Chiefs.
I mean, they're like a plus 100 to win it.
It does feel like now it's popular right now to kind of say like, oh, the Chiefs aren't the same Chiefs of old, and
Very popular.
I think it's a lot. It's very easy to do off of the Super Bowl where it ended like that as well. But they did go 15-1 last year.
Yeah,
and they're not like they're objectively better, I think, personnel wise than they were last year. And they won a lot of close games by being just a tight knit group and having a phenomenal quarterback and head coach and being able to operate at end of game scenarios much better than most teams. But until somebody can prove that, like until Baltimore can get this monkey off their back, until the Bills can get this monkey off their back, I don't know who in the AFC I'm not ready to jump ship on the Chiefs.
Yeah,
and I'm saying that even regardless of my personal connections with the entire coaching staff, Pat, Travis, like they just like at some point these guys have some weird thing to them that they know how to win football games.
Yeah,
and it's Herbert's got to demonstrate it to me before I start getting on the Charger bandwagon. But
the Broncos are a little spicy.
Broncos are spicy.
Broncos defense was
Geno Smith is
unreal.
underrated.
Yeah,
last year the Broncos defense was very, very good. Not as talked about because the team wasn't as successful. Bo Nix going into year 2. Listen, again, it's going to be an exciting. It is not, the division is much more competitive this year than it's been in a long time.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
And it'd be crazy for you to not take the Chiefs. I feel like that'd be bigger in the news than your brother getting engaged. Like, the coaching staff, everybody, all your friends. Like, honestly, I think they're going to get relaxed this year. Fuck them, I'm taking the Chargers. That would be tough.
That would flip the world upside down.
That would flip the world upside down. Yeah. I didn't want to jump to Andy Reid quite yet, but
okay.
Can I ask one fan question?
Go ahead.
Just one young fan question. What was it like playing with Michael Vick?
I had never been starstruck up until that moment.
Hell yeah.
And the first time at it was like the walkthrough, and I don't even know why I was still in there because I was still with the 2s and 3s at that point. And it wasn't even just Mike, it was also Vince Young. And at that point, Vince still had like an aura to him as well. So like my first quarterback room was like Michael Vick and Vince Young, and like I'm snapping to both of them in like a walkthrough, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now? And like Mike puts his hands under my ass, and I'm like, this is a fucking. I've never been happier to have a man's hands under my butt. Right? It was pretty awesome, and he's just such a freaking great dude too. Like, you meet guys and you always wonder what they're like, and Mike was nothing but like incredible as a teammate. He would throw the ball, and I still I've never seen anybody. I'm like blocking, and you could hear like the spin that he would put on the ball with like there's like last little like finger. I don't know what it was, but it would sizzle past. It was crazy. His talent was remarkable, even at that age, coming out of the penitentiary, all of it. Like it was impressive still.
that is a crazy thing.
For sure.
Like gets out, stretches his arms.
How many guys could do that?
Sling it, bro.
Go take off years.
It's like him and Mike Tyson, right? Those two guys just came back and kind of got better.
Yeah.
It's
crazy,
nuts.
Because last night I was watching, he was doing either a halftime interview because he's the head guy at Norfolk State.
Yeah.
And after that, I didn't get to bed until like 1:20 last night because I stayed up watching highlights of Michael Vick. Yeah. Giants game, Minnesota, the Vikings game, seeing him spin it, throwing that bomb to Deshaun Jackson. It was like 80 yards.
Him and D-Jack together was just so lethal because he could throw the ball a mile. And Randy Moss was another great deep ball player, but tracking a deep ball, it was like, he would just like glide. It was like effortless. And somehow he kicked it into another gear. It was the best ever at running that. Now talk about Mike at Norfolk. D-Jack is at Delaware State.
Yeah.
They're going to play a game in the link with both of those guys as the head coaches. It's just wild.
Did you? And I was a teammate of D-Jack as well.
Yeah,
but when I saw that he was a head coach at Delaware State, I was like, my man D-Jack's a head coach of a football team?
It's happening. It's all going. I mean, Deion changed everything. Yeah,
this is what I was about to
changed
say. Well,
everything.
the NIL deals and like the way that the whole college landscape is changed it. And Deion was one of the first people to take advantage and realize. I mean, college football is a very weird spot right now, where like you're selling the team more as the head coach, either to gain money from marketers and advertisers or players and recruiting, and it's that now is able to be much more a part of building a team than it ever was. And it feels like a lot of the teams, especially the lower tier teams that have been able to replicate some of this stuff, have realized that. And I mean, listen, D-Jack is one of the best players of all time. He's built a staff there with a bunch of former NFL guys that know what they're doing, and he's selling the program, and he's got more buzz around it than they've probably ever had in the history of their college. So I don't know. I think it's fun, and I can't wait to watch it.
I can't either.
I can't wait to watch a documentary about this time in college football 10 years from now.
For sure.
It is going to be, because it really is the Wild West. Like
Yes.
there's so much money being thrown around. You know who's getting what. These guys have like, you see like Rayola, he's getting $3.1 million in NIL this year. But that's just what this like the school's getting. What other sponsorships, what other things are they grabbing?
And you think they're making more in the other stuff, right? Or is it less?
You think so? I think
At least
it
for
depends,
Raiola,
it depends on
maybe.
the fan base. It depends on like the resources. Right. Like
And they're trying to put a cap on that, right?
I think they are.
they're
Yeah,
Or they just did, right? Yeah.
This is one of those first, like this past draft is like one of the first times you're looking at these kids. Like Shador is a great example of he made $5 million last year. Now he's making $547,000.
Yeah.
You know? And it's just like, it's just nuts of how college has really turned into like a minor league NFL now.
For sure.
Which I kind of love.
No, I think it's great. I mean, I think they're still figuring out the kinks. Like there's some negative drawbacks. I don't like that guys can transfer twice a year. I wish there was like a little bit of a commitment to a university.
Yeah.
I don't think it should be what it was. It feels like now, before the colleges had all the power and the players had nothing and they didn't get paid at all. And now it's completely reverted to like the players have like almost all the power now. You can transfer whenever you want. It feels like there can be like some middle ground that's probably in the best interest of everybody. But this versus what we had, I mean, I think this is much better. Yeah, it's objectively better than what it was. We're like guys, you know, especially guys that like tore their ACLs and they were like unbelievable guys in college and they should have been able to capitalize on that. I mean, it was unfair then. It's a much more fair system now.
Right.
And I think that we can continue to make this better moving forward. Yeah.
I think what's missing though is exactly like what you two are wearing right now. Like you're all Cincinnati Bearcat, you're all Nebraska. Like you're going to have like 5 to 10 guys on a team that play all 4 years or all 3 years because they're just absolute studs. Like Jeremiah Smith for Ohio State.
Yeah.
He's not leaving Ohio State. He's going to make $1 billion and he's going to be a top 5 pick. And so he's going to have the pride of Ohio State. But a lot of these guys that transfer, I mean, they're coming in, they stand in front of their team, telling them they're
they're hired guns. They're going,
a signing bonus, what school they went to. That's 15 minutes to talk about all the damn teams they've been to. Yeah. So you're kind of losing like,
for sure,
what college football is, which is what we got to see last night.
Yeah.
You know,
for sure. I don't know where to go.
Yeah. The hamster's leaving the wheel right there.
But
all good.
The lights went off for a second.
So yeah, Michael Vick was great.
Yeah.
Dude, we had
so was DJ. I mean, I think
dude, D-Jack would come again. You talk about tracking the ball. It's like he'd run back to the huddle, and you just hear him. I remember one time in OTAs, and he's just telling Kirk, he's like, "Bro, just throw it as far as you can. Like I'll find a way. I'll get to it." And this dude, legitimately, his speed was crazy.
I don't know that I don't think I ever saw him get overthrown. Like legitimately, and maybe there's a clip out there somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't remember ever seeing it. And it was no matter where you put that ball up, it was legitimately like a center fielder tracking a baseball. And he was so good at it. Yeah. It was like the best players, I feel like, just make it look effortless. It didn't even look like he was trying to run fast. He was just like floating across the grass.
Right.
Yeah. Anyways.
We had Howie Roseman on the pod when we were out in Philly. We got to see her for a little bit after you just died. I think it was like a day after you dyed your beard. It was like fresh.
I walked in to go to the I walked in to go to the bathroom, and he's sitting there. He's on the phone. Yeah. I wasn't going to bother him, and he says, "What's up?" And when I got done going potty, I come back out, and I'm just like,
"Potty, going potty."
It's a great word.
It's a crazy term.
I was like,
he's got young kids.
Yeah,
I got done going potty.
You're whipping potty out.
It's
so good.
Like I see you dyed the beard, and he's like, God, he like had it on mute, and he was like, Too long of a story. Yeah, I dyed my beard.
Yeah.
Long
I'm
story.
very
It's like I was doing a
insecure. I'm
commercial in front
very
of it.
insecure about the fact that I dyed my beard. Yes, and
Why?
I'm like the opposite. Like I didn't dye it because of my insecurity. Now I'm insecure because I dyed it.
Yeah.
And I can't wait for it to grow back out. But yeah,
You get the grays coming in.
they're coming.
Yeah.
It'll be here quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be here quick.
Yeah.
We end up this episode to bring you Neutral. Have you tried Neutral? If not, boys, you are missing out. Neutral is so much better than any other seltzer I have ever tried. It's made with real vodka and real juice. That's what makes it delicious. Neutral comes in a variety of flavors. Myself, love pineapple, love lime. Had myself a pineapple on the way back from Columbus. It was absolutely delicious.
Like cherry and
Neutral is the perfect drink to bring when hanging with friends. Always a crowd pleaser. Neutral. Keep it tasty.
And staying on drinks, Form Energy, proud sponsor of the show.
You.
Form Energy delivers best-in-class taste with natural flavors and zero sugar. Form Energy has natural caffeine derived from green tea and comes in a variety of flavors. Your boy is holding the Orange Fury right here. They also have Screamin' Freedom,
Got the
which
Grape
is
Smash.
Rocket Pop inspired, the Grape Smash, the Blue Blitz, perfect for those who put in the work. If you're somebody who wakes up in the morning, gets a workout in, puts a full day of work in, and still gives it their all when they come home, Form Energy is your drink of choice. Form Energy, we do the work.
Now we've got you some seltzers. We also got you some energy drinks. Why not just wrap that up in a nice little bow with Lucy? Let's level up your nicotine routine with Lucy. Go to lucy.co/Bussin and use promo code Bussin. That's BUSSIN to get 20% off your first order. Lucy has a 30-day refund policy if you change your mind. Again, that's lucy.co and use code Bussin to get 20% off. A lot of saliva in my mouth. Let's get the fine print in here. All right, Lucy products are only for adults of legal age. Every customer is age verified. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Enjoy the rest of this episode. But we did have Howie on, and he kind of gave a little bit of a breakdown about when Chip came in. They gave Chip more responsibility, so they took Howie. They moved him all the way across the other building. Didn't fire him.
Yeah.
He was kind of like a lost soul in the building.
Yes.
And then he came back and obviously we went to camp. And it's like every position group you look at, there's aliens. So Howie's obviously doing his job.
Yeah.
We broke down the AJ Brown. Like, talk to me about your relationship with him and how much.
With Howie?
Yeah. With
Yeah.
Howie.
Yeah.
What you saw when Chip, with all the stuff happened with Chip, and then when he came back into the fold.
I mean, Howie has always been like a meticulous, like always working, like relentless GM, right? And I think that like the best coaches I know, the best players I do, they all have like this underlying thing of like they just like do not stop. They're unbelievably passionate about what they do, and there's a relentlessness that separates them. And then Howie's also just. He like did like his college thesis or something like that on the salary cap. Like he knows all this stuff so well in and out. And he would, do you guys know how he got into the league? Did he go over that with you guys?
No, he didn't.
He was like emailing Tannenbaum. He would like do like cold call emails. So like just trying to get in the building. So he worked his ass off to climb up and get into like an occupation that most people would have given up way before that. And I think when Chip came in and they gave Chip a lot of the power in making personnel decisions and everything, they moved Howie to the side of the building. When he came out, it was like a renewed sense of urgency, which is like he already had it, but it was like magnified. And he was putting in all sorts. You could tell even when he was over in that building, even though he didn't have control within the team, he's like, if I get this opportunity to get that control back, I'm making these moves right here. I like Joe Douglas. I want to. He was already trying to figure out where are we struggling at. How can I immediately improve the team? And I mean, I felt like he shifted a lot of his philosophies and player evaluation and like how he was building a roster and all of that stuff in that time frame. He was continuing to grow, and then when he got his opportunity again, he freaking hit the ground running. I'm trying to think of like the first moves we made, but it was like right about like he got rid of, I think Byron Maxwell was on like a contract that was like pretty outrageous, and he was coming off of a bad year. And then there's another contract, and right away he finds ways to like offload these contracts, bring in other guys. Like he has a way of making deals happen. I mean, the AJ Brown one is like such a well-known one where it's like, how the fuck did you do this?
Right.
And even when we've had down years, we've rebounded so quick. And I do think a big reason for that is like Howie somehow knows how to like manipulate these things quicker than I think other GMs and teams can. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to think, we had a linebacker, Kiko Alonso.
Yeah.
Like it's just like
from the Bills.
when it's not working out, and not trying to throw shade to any of these guys, like it's just not happening. a lot of times you get these, you're under a contract. How do you get rid of this guy without like cutting him or like having to eat that number?
Yeah.
And it felt like he somehow would like make these moves. And it's like, how did you get these guys to, after that year, be interested at that number? And he was just really good at a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, him bringing down the AJ Brown trade and talking about how between like picks 12 and 14, like the deal was in place, but they had to get AJ's like contract done in that 20-minute span. And he just, the way he just operated and got it done, knowing like this is the move.
And I don't remember there being any noise about that.
Mm-hmm.
Like typically when something like that happens on game day, like there's like a leaks of like, hey, the Titans might be moving AJ. Maybe there was, and maybe I just wasn't aware of it.
A little bit of talks. Like there was like a press conference with Mike Vrabel, and they asked like, AJ Brown, is he an option? And he's like, as long as I'm the head coach, AJ Brown will be on this football team.
Yeah. So he shut it down right away.
Yeah. And then 3 days later or when,
draft night.
And then you see him get up and he kind of like does one of these and you're like, Braves didn't like that at all.
Yeah.
Did not like that at all.
Because I'm on like with Adam Lefkoe doing like a whole draft thing and it comes down across the ticker while I'm live on air. I'm like, I didn't even know this was a fucking like, they kept this so quiet.
Which is wild.
Yeah. And like how quickly he had to operate that in. Mm-hmm. And I mean, the dude just does not leave any stone unturned. He is always like trying to figure out a way to maximize value, whether it's from like a contract standpoint, like a personnel standpoint in the building. Like he's maniacal. He's relentless in like his pursuit to do all that stuff. And yeah.
With in your last years, what was your relationship like with Howie? Like when you're getting to those years, is Jason going to retire? Is he going to come back? Like what is that relationship like with the GM?
He did a good job of milking it. I think it was like 3 years in a row. It's like, is he going to go? Is he going to stay?
It was good because I was actually thinking about it, and it ended up working out to like a benefit of just like one-term deals. And like, it benefited everybody. And I think the Howie was great to me, and I think he really valued me, Fletcher, Brandon Graham, and now Lane Johnson as guys that had been there for a long time. And this is one thing that I think the Eagles did a great job of. Whenever they like are shifting, like I played for 4 different head coaches. All of us did. And not only did 4 of us play for over a decade together, but we did it through like 4 different coaching regime changes. Like it's like crazy that through all this turnover, they kept semblances there as long as they did. And I think when you just try to overturn everything. Like you sell shop on the head coach and you're like, we're going to revamp this roster, and you try and do it all at once. You lose sometimes the chemistry and the camaraderie and things that happen within the building that are really important. And it's a credit to Jeffrey and Howie and how they've changed things, but at the same time, we have like a continual, not like train of thought, but like there's a link between all of those eras because they've kept pieces in place or coaches. Mm-hmm. Like Jeff Stoutland's been through 3 different coaches. Deuce Staley was there for 3 different coaches. Like they've always kind of changed, but also kept certain pieces around to kind of try and keep the locker room and culture and like what it is to be on the Eagles, like kind of there, if that makes sense. So Howie took care of me. Like I never felt like I was underpaid. He found a way to make the numbers work, and like whatever freaking, it's like a signing bonus here, a roster bonus there. That's why I watch other teams and they can't figure out stuff with certain players. I'm like, I don't ever remember that being an issue with Howie. Mm-hmm. Like I feel like he always is like, okay, you want this? All right, I'll figure out a way to get you that or close to it where you're happy, and then just structure it this way so that the team benefits from how it's structured. And it feels like he does that better than anybody else. And he did that all my last career. Like, let's say, the top of the center market my last couple of years was like 12 to 14 a year was like the number. I might make like 9 on the books, but I earn it all. I'm still getting 12 to 14 for 1 year of work. It's just structured in a way that it's happening in being spread out over 2, 3, 4 years. Mm-hmm. And I just feel like he has this understanding of the salary cap and like way of like thinking into the future and like planning that I think a lot of teams just don't do as good of a job of.
Were you ever close to leaving the Eagles?
Yeah, 16. The year before the Super Bowl. I had a really bad start to the year. I played against the Cleveland Browns, had an awful game. Danny Shelton beat the fuck out of me.
He's done.
I didn't have a great game against Chicago. I played well against Pittsburgh, but had like a couple plays. So like the media narrative had already been that like Kelce's struggling this year. I ended up finishing the season really well, but there was all sorts of news on, is Kelce going to get traded? Is he going to get cut? Are they going to move on from him? And like some of the stuff when it like comes out, it's coming from the Eagles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like the Eagles are gonna trade Jason Kelce for Mark Ingram. I'm like, that's not coming from New Orleans. Like New Orleans, this is the Eagles trying to like put this out here, right? And listen, I didn't play well. Like it wasn't like it sucks when you're going through it, but objectively, I didn't have a great year. And thankfully, Jeff Stoutland, I think he's like the one guy in the building that was still like, no, Kelce is still the guy. Like he just needs to fix his technique, do these things. Like he did it for the second half of the year and he played really well. Like I still think that he can be the guy. And it's like him and oh my gosh, I'm blanking. Yeah, I mean, he's pretty much the reason why I still was there in 2017. And then I had personally had the best year of my career in 2017 and the Eagles won the Super Bowl. It was like a fucking crazy shift of offseason. I was like, could not have gone better.
Yeah, complete 180. Yeah.
So yeah, it was very close. It was very close. And I did not play well that year. I put a lot of work in that offseason, started doing some different things technique wise. I also think I started to struggle a little bit early in that year because we went from this no huddle offense back to a huddle offense. And I got away with a lot of things in the no huddle offense with bad hand placement and things because you deal with like the D lineman's fatigue. And then all of a sudden, like they have more energy because the pace is slower.
Right.
And these technique things that really probably would have manifested earlier are now being magnified because Danny Shelton's not tired. Right. And now I'm going out here with hands like this and a 350-pound person's putting his head in my chest.
Right.
That's not a good recipe.
Never is.
So it ended up being like the best thing that ever happened. And like I had all of my personal accolades other than like 1 or 2 Pro Bowls came after that year. And I played much better as a player after 2016 as a result.
Go ahead. I was gonna ask about the retirement thing again. Do you have another one?
No. I was gonna go into the Super Bowl and the Wentz Nick thing, but go ahead.
Nick?
My question was gonna be, what were the conversations like when you were retiring? Was there offer on the table for you to come back? The Eagles' lore is, the rumors out there is you had a $9 million offer on the table for you to come back if you were to return.
Is that a lore?
Year. I think so.
Are you making this up right now?
I'm not.
You didn't hear?
I think the Eagles would have found a way to have me back again if I would have wanted to. And at that point, like if I wanted to play, I wasn't going to play for another team anyways. And this is where like it's weird late in your career where it's like I was still getting good money, but like if I wasn't going to go anyplace else. Like I would have taken way less and they were still taking care of me. So I was like, this is really nice of you guys. I don't know if you know, but I'll play for like $5 million because I still want to play football. But I think I think everybody knew that I wanted to retire, and it never got to a point that contracts were even discussed. So I don't know if there was an offer there, but I do think that if I would have wanted to come back, the Eagles would have found a way to make it work.
Got you.
Maybe
I made it up.
When you retire, Saquon Barkley comes back in. He is starting to have the year he is. When they win the Super Bowl, is there a PC that's like, fuck, I should have just done one more?
I mean, listen, I think when you watch your team, when you're like one season away from it, you're like, man, I could have been a part of that. That does go through your head. But I really don't think I would have made it. My body was like firmly like, I'm done, man. Like it was hard at that point to get through practice during the week. They had already like taken Wednesdays off of my shoulder. I was still struggling to get back for Thursdays. And I felt the decline happening, right? I felt, even though it might not have manifested to everybody else, like I felt myself getting weaker. I felt myself not blocking guys as well. So I didn't want to be a guy that hung on and tried to play until the very last moment. I really wanted to be like, okay, I don't think I can do this anymore. I can't play or do it the way I want to or at the level I want to. And I'm going to stop before this thing really takes a nosedive. And I think it would have that year. I don't think my body was going to make another year.
When you talk about just like your strength, everything, all the things, you don't want to play that long, how impressive is it to you about Jason Peters?
Dude.
Like, I think, is he still playing?
It's insane. I mean, I know
he's
if they
like
offered him a
bouncing.
contract, he would. I
He
mean,
knows shit.
I would bet. I don't know. He loves football, man. And that dude, still the most like gifted like person that, and maybe it was just because I was a rookie when I first came in, and he's doing a one-on-one with like Trent Cole, and the way he like jumped out of his stance, I was like, what in the fuck is that? Like, it was like, and Howard was a jump setting guy, and he would teach the tackles to like be very aggressive in pass pro. And this dude did like a standing broad jump and just engulfed Trent Williams. And I was like, I don't know. I don't think I can play in this league. And then I watched like the next couple guys go, and I'm like, okay, I can do it.
I probably
So everybody's not him.
Yeah. 'cause
He
he did an amazing job of getting out of his stance. Like, he would explode out, and
crazy.
he would be at the spot before the guy took two steps.
And JP played for a long time. I really think it's really unfortunate because that Super Bowl year, he tore his ACL. If he wouldn't have tore his ACL, he probably would have continued to have just like amazing success. That was kind of like the moment where it like he came back from it, but you know, at that age, having an ACL tear, it's hard. And the fact that he played that many years after that, like he was just like a one-of-one dude. The strength, the explosion, the like, he wasn't like a X's and O's guy, but his instincts for the game were like fucking incredible.
I love that.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
He would be like, we would have like an alert call for like pressure off the edge or something like that. And I'd look out there and think we're all good. And JP would be like give me the tip that it's a pressure. I'm like, how the fuck is he seeing this? He's the end was tighter and like little things like that. Like that. I don't know. I know that doesn't sound amazing, but like he would constantly do that. And he would make decisions in the middle of a play that like ended up usually being the right decision, even when it's not the way the play was drawn up.
Yeah,
He was a football player.
Right. I know no one's going to enjoy this question, but what are one of those examples of him changing something up in a play? Because to me, I just
Changing something. I'm talking like let's say we got like a jet motion going across the formation, and we're expecting zone, and we think that everybody's going to bump. They don't bump. The guy runs, and sometimes guys will go too far, thinking they got to push the point to a linebacker that they think is then going to become in this A gap, right?
Right.
He would use his instincts to just know that because this backer didn't move out of that gap, they're not bumping. And I think a lot of tackles or players get really regimented into, this is my rule on the play. This is what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
And JP had the savviness to like know that, like, listen, I'm hitting this angle, and if that guy doesn't move, I'm going to stay here. And I don't even know if he like was cognitively thinking like that. I just think he knew football. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, he knew space, and part of it, he played special teams when he was young in Buffalo, and he played tight end in college. So I think when you have like a more well-rounded like view of football and offense and structure and space and where you're at in the field, he just was very, very good in a lot of those regards.
I feel like with offensive line, like you get so used to rules and how plays are supposed to be beaten to your head so much that common sense kind of like you lose it sometimes. Where guys get so regimented, so black and white, like, this is my job. If he does this, then I do that.
Yeah.
But it's like at the end of the day, it's like if this guy's in the gap, that's the guy.
That's who you're taking.
That's your guy.
Yes, and 1,000%. And you need the rules because you need the structure and you need to have like responsibilities and whatnot. But sometimes a lot of players, especially high IQ guys, can get bogged down with that.
Right.
It's like, dude, just play fast, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Paralysis
you're
by
way
analysis.
overthinking this right now. And
Exactly.
my brother, it's funny we're talking about this because Trav and I were talking last night, and he gave me some gold that Andy gave him. Andy Heck, the offensive line coach for the Chiefs. It's like they're running some counter play or something like that. It's like, oh, what happens if like the backer is in that gap? Like, I know I'm supposed to go outside, but like if he's in here, and Andy's like, you'll make the right decision.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome. That is awesome. Because I had my first couple of years with the Titans, like I had a coach that was like, you follow the rules.
Yeah.
Like I have an answer for everything. You follow the rules. So 2016, Russ Grimm comes in, who played for the Redskins for a long time.
Legend.
And I've told the story so many times, but his ability to get me to relax on the rules.
Yeah.
He's like, what do you have on stutter? I'm like, well, if it's a 3 technique, then I'm going to deuce to the backside linebacker who's the mic. But if not, then I'm going to go through. And if the end comes, he's like, no. Hey, basically close your eyes, go to 11 o'clock.
There you go. Yeah.
That's the guy you run into. And the being able to be freed of all the rules and regulations that have to take place.
Yes.
It was massive for my career.
Well, then you just go back to being an athlete and being a football player.
Just
And like
need to run around.
the coaches that can really dumb it down and make it have like that little mechanism that snaps a guy into just being a player is I think the best coaches. And Jeff Stoutland's like that. So is Howard Mudd. Howard Mudd would say some of the most outrageous things Like this is a guy that coached multiple Hall of Famers. He played in the league for a long time. And like his pass blocking technique was go out there and shake his hand. I was like, what are you talking about? Howard's like, get into the position that you would shake his hand and you'll be in the perfect position to block him.
Yeah. It's kind of genius.
He's like, how do I block a 3 technique? Howard's like, how do you walk through a door? And I'm like, what the fuck does that have to do with the 3 technique, Howard?
That's a crazy
I love that.
He was fucking so funny. And
how do you walk through a door?
yeah, like, it was just like an outlandish human being, but he was great. And he was low-key a genius in some of the things he would say. And he would give everybody like little mechanisms. Like we used to call it like being in the Matrix, right? You're struggling, having a bad game, and you're overthinking. It's like, oh, you took the wrong pill. Like you're in an area that you don't know where you're at right now, brother. And Howard would he would have each guy have like this little mechanism. Like if you're ever in that moment, like for somebody it might be like 2 hands on the throat. Next set, just go there, put 2 hands on the guy's throat. For me, it's like, just hop. I'm like, just hop? He's like, just hop. But it would get you out of like overthinking it. And it would get you back to just like, hey, let's just focus on one very minute thing and then just play ball. And I think that's a very underrated part of coaching is like the mental side of it and knowing how to get guys out of their own head.
Is he giving you like the hop as like your cue, or is that something you would do?
That was his technique for undersized centers. It's a mule kick. Yeah.
Yeah.
So his whole thing with me is like, whenever I was struggling, most of the times it was power. So he's like, just get your 2 hands on him and hop. Like, don't even like you're way overthinking this. Mm-hmm. Just do that. Now, it doesn't always work, right?
No,
you're passing off a game and you're 2 hands underneath hopping. Like, it's not going to go very well. But it was really good on average. It really did benefit, and it got you out of your own head, which was the purpose of it. And I'm trying to remember. There was another thing I was going to say there about Howard, but yeah, his whole thing with pass blocking was just, and I still use this with guys, especially new guys. Like we had a guy, oh my God, Holland. I can't remember his name. Massive guy with the Eagles this year in camp, and from Rutgers, played D-line, he's playing offensive line, he's figuring things out, and asking me like pass blocking questions and like footwork and hand placement. I was like, bro, did you play basketball? I was like, just go play basketball. Like the quarterback's the hoop and just stay in front of this motherfucker. You're thinking about way too much. Just get into that relationship. Yeah, anyways, so
play basketball.
I
feel like basketball is a big like coachism that's always said.
Well, because it's relatable. Most players at some point play
basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like for at least the quarterback, like if you understand how to be, for a new guy who doesn't understand the relationship you need to be in with a player, having that frame of mind of like the hoop is at 7 yards and right here, and you're just trying to force him away from that. Like, don't think about what foot is back and what hand you're punching with yet. Mm-hmm. Like, just get into the proper body position, and then we can focus on that other stuff.
Yeah. You've gotten to, you mentioned getting to play for 4 different head coaches. What makes like, thinking about Sirianni and Coach Reid, because you got to play for both of them.
Yeah.
What makes them each good and unique in their own right, getting to play for guys like that?
So it's really hard for me to like analyze Andy Reid because I was with him for my first 2 years. And even my second year, I was hurt for all of it. So like, I wasn't at the stage yet where I was like analyzing the head coach and like had the frame of reference to truly know it.
But, like being a full leader, I'm the guy on the team.
And when I got there, Andy had already had a decade of going to NFC championship games, went to a Super Bowl. So like he was already established as one of the best coaches in the NFL. So there was an aura about Andy that like, this is one of the best coaches in the NFL. He's a very like stoic guy. So like when you would do something, I think when he gave you like that sugar, like you did a good job, it felt real good because it was like so sparse that he would give it out, right? And he had a way about him where like he was like a tough, hard-nosed guy, but at the same time loved his players, and he was able to infuse that. And it's a really hard line to walk because usually either guys are like overly friendly with the players or they're overly hard asses on the players. And Andy has just as good as I've seen, a way of maintaining discipline, maintaining like people were afraid of Andy, you know what I mean? But they also like loved him and like wanted to please him because of like who he was and like how he would fall on the sword in press conferences and how he would handle himself and how he talked to you in the middle of a game. Like he's a very unique person that I think is almost unanimously loved by like every player that's ever played for him. And that's extremely hard to do. And then Nick he was young and just like the amount of energy. And I talk about this, we talked about it with Howie. I think about it with defensive line. I really like this relentlessness is like a big like thing that I believe in. Like the guys that are the best at everything, just like they just like do not stop or get tired or like Van den Bosch in Tennessee. Like that dude would never stop rushing the passer. And I think Nick right away, he's just like the amount of energy he attacks every single day with every single meeting out on the field. He's always trying to improve. He's doing this not just with players, with other coaches. He just has this like way about him that is a driving force. And I think the players really respect that.
Love it.
I did almost bring up the 2017. Everyone's broke down the Carson Wentz and Nick Foles thing, and that's great. We'll probably get into a little bit about that, but more than anything, I need to know. Is it true?
I don't know what we're talking about.
Oh, you know.
2017?
You hit the showers, 2017.
Nick Foles.
Oh, no, that's definitely true.
Really?
Yeah.
And you're the first
Nick.
first player to just fully be like, yes, that is correct.
No, Connor Barwin was.
Oh, was he?
Connor, so this is a great story. Connor, somehow it had started to get out there, and like, I don't know if it was somebody at Barstool, but somebody asked Connor Barwin, and he confirmed it. And we just so happened to be at a golf outing, like the next week, and the whole offensive line is playing. Nick came, his dad came in, and we get done, and this whole thing had just hit the story, like the news waves. And we're getting off the course. Me and Connor rode together, so we hop in my truck. And as we're like driving away from the course, Nick's dad like waves us down, and we pull up and we lower the window. He's like, "Hey, Connor, I just want to thank you about saying all those nice things about my son."
This is fucking awesome.
It was so Larry was a gem right there. But yeah, no, he's most of the time when there's what's the myths are that prevalent. There's some truth behind them for sure.
I love that. I mean, what a unique set, like Saint Nick and Big Dick Nick. Like,
and it couldn't happen to
it
couldn't happen to like a more humble, just like great human being.
Dude,
like, I mean, with what is it? With great whatever comes great responsibility. Yeah. Nick is nailing that.
With great powers come great responsibility.
That's right.
Nick is Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Dog. I mean, yeah, good for him.
Yeah.
That's
good for
fantastic.
Nick.
Good for Nick.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Friend of the show.
Friend, is he?
I got to hang out with him for a day last year, so since we're boys, I'm thinking friend of the show.
Future friend of the show.
Yeah.
Future friend of the show.
Friend of myself.
I don't remember Nick coming on. I guess it's going bad for my brain.
And he's a tremendous dude, a tremendous teammate, and he was a great player. I mean, obviously the Super Bowl 52, the game he had. I mean, Tom Brady had the best game of his career against us and lost solely because Nick like played his ass off.
Yeah,
he outshot the best quarterback in the history of the game in the biggest stage possible, and like it's pretty fucking awesome to have that on your belt.
100%.
Something else that's really awesome is like Lane Johnson. Obviously, he's 99 this year. He's had a lot of peaks and valleys through his career, whether it was the PED thing or the anxiety thing but when I go to look at clips about Lane or just on my algorithm, I've seen him consistently talk about you from like being somebody that he could lean on, like the relationship you guys have. He helped you through a lot of stuff. Like, what was it like for you watching Lane go through that stuff, and what were some things you did to help him?
Well, I mean, you just try and be there for him. I mean, I'm not especially like the mental stuff. I'm not like a mental health like expert. I don't know how to do it, but you just try and be a good teammate and be there for your buddy. And Lane, to anybody that knows him or has interacted with him, like one of the most well-intentioned human beings I've ever been around in my life. He is such a good dude, and he operates that way continuously. And we were very young together when we both were there. I was in my third year. He was coming in as a rookie, and we were there for so long together. And in a lot of ways, when all of the changes are happening throughout the building and you go through that much like struggle and adversity and pain with each other on both of our ends, he saw me go through 2016. And he's like, I don't know if Kelce's going to be back. And like, so I think we both saw a lot of that throughout our own careers, and we both have persevered through it. And we did a lot of that together. And I think that always brings people closer. Like the good times are great, but when you're going through the shit with people and they don't give up on you and they freaking ride with you, that's when real bonds are made. And Lane is about as close to a brother that I would ever say. And like, I mean, he's just like such a great dude. And like I don't know, there's many people on the planet that I trust more than Lane Johnson.
When it comes to leadership, when did it start? When did you start becoming like a vocal guy? Were you always that way? Because I feel like in the back half of your career, especially, you have the iconic Super Bowl parade when you're on the mic, and then the camera finds you when you're having tough moments in the season, and you're giving the team a speech or a talk about what the week's going to be like. Was that always something that you had, or was that something you, once you felt entrusted as I am the leader, I need to step up and say something?
I think that it's both. I think that I've always had a knack for that, even in high school. I certainly got better at it as I went along. Like high school was like, remember the Titan style, you know what I mean? Like and then as you get older, you have more like emotional awareness of things, and you start to think about it in a lot more sappy ways in some regards. But I think in the O-line room, I had a lot of that earlier in my career. And then as you get older and you become a more veteran guy, then you start getting afforded opportunities to talk to the team more, right? Like it's hard to, like, you're not going to go do that as like a 6th-round pick.
Right.
And like these guys, shut the fuck up, man. Like I got you. But I think you lead in a different way. When you're young, you lead by your example and your effort and your energy. And then as you get older and you get entrusted more with guys who've seen you replicate success over and over again, and they want to hear what you're saying, then it's like, now let me freaking speak my mind on what I think. And that mostly the team stuff and like talking more as like a vocal leader, I think probably happened after the 2017 season, and part of it's the Super Bowl parade speech probably, but I think also is like I had the best year of my career that year too. So I combined, like, had a really good season and then a good speech. And then all of a sudden now I'm doing like pregame speeches before we come out of the locker room, right? And we talked about like retirement. Like that's kind of, I was great at those, and guys would get fired up. And then all of a sudden, like I'm in like year 13, I'm like, fuck, I got to give this fucking speech right now. Like I'm trying to get like, how do I get excited to do this? And I'm looking up shit online. I'm like looking up wrestling promos and shit. Like I got to fucking, and it got to the point where like even just doing that would exhaust me to try and go play football. And like, that's another thing where I was like, dude, I just don't think mentally I got this anymore. Like it's hard, brother.
So. Sirianni walks in, he's like, team keys, and he's like, Jason, you have the floor, and he just walks away.
Nick would do a really cool thing, especially back then, where he would give like a guy like a moment to talk in front of the team, and multiple guys get those opportunities. And I think it was really good because it gave ownership to the guys, right? And we had done that as an offensive line, even that 2017 year, where in the like run meeting the day before the game, like the tight end running back O-line, where we'd go over like blitz pickup and run, and the last meeting right before the game, Stout would have one guy go up there each week. It would be a new guy, and they would go up and talk, and they could say whatever they wanted. And I like just loved it. You would hear some gold from like Jay Ajayi to Lane Johnson to Jason Peters, like whoever went up there and talked. It would be like specific to them, but it was, in my opinion, like it's just like a level of like creating ownership that I don't think really was there before that. And Brent Selleck was the first guy to do it. And he kind of called that we were going to be a great team before anybody was really picking us to be. He's like, guys, I've been around the league a long time. I've seen a lot of talent, and do not waste this opportunity. We got a really good team. And I went his first year, he's like, I went to the NFC Championship game and we lost, and I just thought we'd be right back there the next year, and I haven't been back since. And it just like hit everybody real hard in the moment, and we just kept doing it after that. I don't know if they still do it, but I always loved those little, hey, let's have, and then it would be like the backup, like the 6th man off. We're out of guys, so then now the 6th man offensive line was like, what's Matt Pryor going to say, or what's this guy going to say? And you hear like a different frame of reference and perspective about what's happening from those guys, which is sometimes even better. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
You make it sound like it wasn't not just football. Was it also like their life experiences?
A lot of it ended up being, it was different for different guys. Some guys are more open to like sharing like life experiences and stuff like that. Some guys just want to keep it pretty bare bones of football. But a lot of it was like, you know, how they got there, what drives them, what motivates them, why they love football. Like, stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
I do too. A couple of years ago, people are talking about there's a script. NFL has a script, and they've made like a big joke out of it.
For sure.
It's awesome. And everyone kind of like, yeah, it's not real. Scripts aren't real.
Yeah.
But it's pretty interesting that you decided to start a podcast with your brother, and both of you ended up going to the Super Bowl that year. And
it feels like we've been living in a script the last like 3 or 4 years.
What in your mind was like, you're getting towards the end of your career, and obviously everyone wants to think about what they're going to do next when it's kind of getting closer and closer. What made you decide on doing a podcast?
Well,
you talk about lightning in a bottle.
Lightning in a bottle.
Yeah, no, it was
to
crazy.
where it's like, if there's going to be the conspiracy theorists, like the JFK people out in Dallas, like they're going to point to Jason and Trav and be like, that's why the script exists.
Yeah.
Like that is, could not have picked
crazy
a better time.
coincidence. Yeah.
Is it Goodell, main sponsor?
Plead the fifth. So we, I mean, we had talked about doing a podcast or like doing some type of media thing together for a long time. And Travis's team kind of approached us with the podcast idea. And we were kind of like always nervous about it because like, what if the season isn't going well? Then you're like out there, you're talking. Yeah. And quite honestly, I know Travis has given you guys the sugar before, but like seeing you guys do it really well with Bussin, seeing Pat McAfee, seeing Draymond Green, and like all these guys are having success and doing this pod. I mean, Draymond, I think a year before had just won an NBA title.
He's in the playoffs and dropping pods.
Yeah.
Like right after the game.
So
too.
like, I think that there was like a sense that, hey, there's guys out here who are doing this, having success, and it's not a detriment to the team. And in some ways it's working out better. Right. So, we decided to kind of try it out and see how it went. And we hit lightning in a bottle. Yeah. The first year, luckily there wasn't a lot of bad to come on the podcast about.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's when it's fun when you're a player. Like when you're winning, it's a very fun thing to do.
It's the exact opposite of how ours started. Our shit. Yeah. When we started ours, I had a PED. I was suspended for 4 games. We were 2-4 to start.
Yeah.
It was fucking terrible.
Yeah.
I'm not even on a team.
Yeah. Will's just like, all right, I got to do this
And
intro today.
it is hard when you're
It
when you're
sucks.
2-4 and like the fans want answers, and you're trying to give them like legitimate answers, but also be respectful and like keep it like not throw teammates under the bus and not give away information or anything like that. And it's a tightrope to walk. And I do think it was good. What year were you guys in when you guys started yours?
19 was our first year. 18 is when we met.
Yeah.
So
You're right.
19
You're
we
right. You're right.
started.
2019.
So how many years had you guys had in at that point? Like 6
What?
years in the NFL?
I was going into 6. You were going to 7?
7, yeah.
Yeah, 6 and 7.
I worry. So I think that it's good to be a little bit more veteran to try and do it sometimes, because I think you have a better understanding of like everything that guys are going through in the NFL.
Yeah. Right.
And I think that,
and you have a better understanding of just the dynamic too, even with whether it comes from the staff, your teammates,
and people in the building trust you more. There's more like established relationship, but I don't know. I don't think I would have done a good job if I would have been young trying to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would have said something that would have pissed somebody off. I would have said something that would have pissed the fans off. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have had the emotional awareness of like what to say. And I still don't. I still say stuff that pisses people off, but it would have been a much higher percentage if I would have started that younger. So
yeah, you would have been slapping phones out of hands much sooner.
Oh, God. Oh man. Yeah, that was a rough one. That's why we got Dutch here now.
Yeah. Yes, you got Dutch sitting over there.
Yeah. Dutch just yadded, no sleeves on.
Yeah.
Goddamn right. He'll break every phone out here.
That's right. Professional.
But dude, yeah, that first year and just you guys both ending up in the Super Bowl, I think it was also a fucking awesome year for your parents.
Yeah, especially
mom. Mom got a lot of the noise, and deservedly so. She put up with a lot of shit from us for a long time. She became like a focal point for like, I think moms everywhere, and especially moms of like athletes. And that was one of the best parts about that season was the glow up of Donna Kelce for sure. No, she killed it. She got to make more cookies than I think she's probably ever made, which she enjoyed.
How did she handle all the eyes on her? Because you get to the Super Bowl, I feel like you guys are in all the commercials.
Yeah,
she's on late night TV shows.
She is so who she is at this point. I don't think it's gonna affect her as much. I mean, she's not like a media trained, savvy individual, but she's a good hearted woman from Cleveland, Ohio that loves her kids, and I don't know that any amount of commercial is going to change that.
Amen, dude.
That's
I feel like
awesome.
it's one of those things too. Like, if I could put myself in the shoes of your parents, it's the Hayes in the barn for the most part. Like they're older. They don't care about what the world's thinking. They're just so proud.
Yeah.
Like, how cool would it be? You're just like a kid seeing your kids. You have 2 sons, and they're playing in the Super Bowl. 2 of them arguably the best at their positions. And they've accomplished all this stuff, and you're seeing all the success.
Yeah.
It's like people, reach out, would you come on this? You come on. It's more of just like, you just get to take like victory laps because you're so proud of your kids. I feel like that's what the feeling would be like.
It has to be. Yeah.
Talk about your parents. Give us a couple things that you love about your mom and your dad. Now that you're older,
gosh.
you're wiser, you're sappier, you cry more because you have daughters.
I've always been a crier, even before the daughters, but I definitely get sappier. I think I was always closer to my dad growing up. My dad coached us in everything, like went to all the games, was like the prototypical, just like outstanding father. And I looked up to my dad. I thought my dad was like the best man on the planet. That's who I wanted to be. Like, I got asked when I was really young, like, what do you want to be when you grow up, Jason? I said, I want to be a father. Like, that's like, I wanted to be like my dad 100%. And we get a lot of our mentality and a lot of like our traits as human beings, I think, from my father. And like, he's a very driven, like tough, worked in the steel industry. Like, he's a great dad. And he was also a loving dad. He was one of those dads that while he's slapping you on your ass, you feel like he loves you still at the same time.
Yeah.
But he was a great dude. And that's who I wanted to be when I grow up. And I think my mom, I never really had the frame of reference to understand what she was doing for the family when I was younger. And I think I had always had a loving relationship and loved my mom to death. But she was working and making the majority of the money for the family. She was cleaning. She was like scheduling things out. She was handling all of like the finance, like all these things that like as a kid you don't really know or you take for granted. And I'm like, she was so much of like a foundational aspect for the entire family. And I've told her that since. Like, I just never really even had a understanding of all these things you were doing. And so as a parent, I've gone now to more of like Donna Kelce's the shit, and still Ed Kelce's the shit too. But Donna she was a very unique woman to be able to handle all of these different things.
That fires me up.
And everything you said, like while you're saying those things, I'm like, like in my head being like, I hope to God my kids talk about me like this.
Yeah.
When they're older. Because it's like everything you just said about your dad and your mom, it's like, yeah, you guys as a family, it's like something you want to look up to and be like, that's what you want. Your kids to love you, to appreciate you, to respect you, all those things.
Yeah. And listen, they worked their ass off. They stayed together they stayed married because of us, just to like raise us. I think in a lot of ways, they set aside all their dreams, goals, and aspirations to like help us realize ours. And they did it without even questioning it, it felt like. And I'm sure there were questions. I'm sure there were very hard discussions that were had, but we never felt that. We felt like there was just like an overwhelming abundance of like love and support and anything we wanted to try and do. And it was a storybook childhood for us, and that I don't take for granted one bit.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Hey, and now like it's in the family. Your wife has a podcast now.
She does.
And she's crushing it.
She is 1,000 times better than we are. And she is on our tail.
Yeah, she's on her tail.
How's the dynamic? Both of you guys podcasters have your own little businesses going?
I mean, it's been a lot. I mean, there's a lot more, we're both have more going on now as like professionals. But I think Kylie went to school for journalism and communication. She had a radio like show with one of her friends in college where it was like the squirrel in the tree, and they would do that like every week. So she was much more ready to go than we were. This is like, yeah, I know how to do this right away. And she had a firm understanding of what she wanted to do, the kind of content she wanted to create, who she wanted to talk to, and the kind of conversation she wanted to have. And I think that has resonated really, really well with a lot of people. And for me, I enjoy watching it. I enjoy seeing her have success with it. Mm-hmm. And now we just got to be more organized in our scheduling and making sure that we're communicating. Like, that's a whole nother thing, because now we're both have stuff going on throughout the week, and we have 4 kids. But we it's been a lot of fun navigating it for sure.
She's good at growing the community, like talking to her community. I've like watched a couple of her shows just because no free shout outs for the dads. I have a dad podcast and I actually go into I dive into some of Kylie's stuff just because I think she does a really good job speaking to the community and making everything sound relatable, just being like that working mom and corralling everybody. I think she does a really good job.
Thank you.
And Kylie, I would love to have you on for the dads, by the way.
Hey, let's go.
Before Jason Kelce.
Let's go.
Wow.
Whichever camera I'm looking at here.
Kylie's a better dad than me too.
You got 4 kids, all girls?
All girls, brother.
Now, when you got to 2 girls, you're out there swinging for the fences, aren't you?
I mean, I'm a swing by the fences kind of guy. I'm doing that from the get go.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
You're trying to get that boy.
we knew. I mean, listen, if a boy happened, that would be fun. But I think at the end of the day, I say what my dad always said. We're very blessed to have 4 healthy, like smart, charismatic, amazing children. And like, I would not trade any of that for a second. And I think we wanted early on, I wanted 3 kids early on. That was like, I always felt like Travis and I always wanted like one more sibling. It felt like would have been ideal. And Kylie said she wanted 5. So we're at 4 now. And I think we'll see. That might be it.
That might be the
We've
end
been
of
bringing up the V word more than ever. So we'll see if it happens. But
Ooh, getting the smoke going down there.
Yeah.
Getting the snippy.
snippy snip.
I think it's a smart move. Once you're done, it's like you don't want any hiccups.
Oh no, once we're done, for sure, I'm definitely getting it done.
Yeah.
I think we're still kind of in that. Like, are we done or are we figuring it out?
5 girls, my goodness.
I know.
Nothing like just getting bossed around by your little girls,
Warzone.
man.
Jason's going to become the guy where it's like he just gets more
I'm
quiet.
so-
He's gonna be in the
You see him at
corner
party,
on
like,
the
"Oh, yeah,
party."
Jason
I'm
used to
getting
be so-"
weaker too. It's like
Yeah.
it's like our 2-year-old right now, Benny, is just like the most charismatic. Like, I don't know how like she came out like this, but like she like blinks and like gives you eyes and like she's like, it's like cheating. You know what I mean? Like she can just look at me and get whatever she wants. And I was the dad when I first had my first girl where I'm like, I'm going to raise my girl tough and I'm going to make sure, I'm not going to be like, the pushover dad and completely did not hold up.
You're dismantled.
I was so naive to like how Mother Nature works and like these girls like look at you just like one way and it's like, all right, come on, we're going in the bed. Let's go. Like, I think my 2-year-old's been in our, like every time she wakes up in the middle of the night, I just like pick her up and half the time I want her to come in bed with me because I know that eventually she's going to be out of that stage where it's going to be possible. And I selfishly want to hold on to that. But I did wake up before coming out here at 6 a.m. and I woke up and I look over in the bed to say goodbye to Kai, and my 2-year-old and our infant are like in the bed, right? They got like barriers in between them, but they're sitting where Kylie is.
Yeah.
I go, maybe Kai went up. She's coaching field hockey season right now. Maybe they're at practice. And I get up further and she's curled up like a cat at the foot of the bed.
Oh shit.
Like,
You get one of those Wyoming kings, those
so
giant beds.
that's right. We just got to stop. I gotta be a freaking good dad and not bring the big kid into the bed. I gotta do better. I gotta do better.
I gotta do better.
All these women in your life, man. It seems like you're expanding and you're getting the new.
For the vast majority of my life, my mom was the only woman in my life. Like, it was only me and Travis. We had no first cousins. I had my Aunt Judy. I'll take that back. Aunt Judy was definitely a staple for us. But I didn't even know how to like talk to girls growing up. I don't know how you guys were. I was not.
I'm
at
like
all.
you, bro.
Dude, I
shell up quick.
We talk about like getting in your head on the field. I got in my head majorly.
Big
trying
time.
to
Walking to the bar, it's like a whole different ball game.
Yeah. Not good. So I'm definitely catching up on getting to know and understand women and girls and females. Yeah. I'm getting a lot of reps now.
And now you're welcoming a new sister-in-law.
That's right.
That's
Big
pretty
news.
big.
New news. Big news.
What makes you so happy about that? Because I was watching, obviously, one of the most explosive podcast episodes in podcast history on New Heights.
Mm-hmm.
But as Taylor's talking about Travis, it's clipped everywhere. The Swifties love it. Everybody loves it. It seems like you're getting emotional as she's talking about Travis.
Yeah.
What makes you so happy about all of this happening and Travis finding somebody that really makes him happy?
Well, I think, first of all, I love my brother and I just want him to have like the most fulfilled, best life possible. And such a huge part of that is like, you know, who you end up marrying, who you end up raising a family with. I know the kind of person he is, and I've been blessed to get to know Taylor over the last couple of years. And I just think that they match so well together. They are unbelievably supportive of each other in both of their outlandishly successful worlds.
Yeah.
And it's like you're listening to somebody describe your brother, and I think a lot of people, I don't know how to say it, but you're hearing how like she fully understands why Travis is like an incredible human being. And like the human exclamation point was like the best way I've ever heard Travis described in my life. I think it's like such an accurate statement. The dude just brings joy in like to every place he ever is, and like people love him, and he makes everything better. And I think that they both, to watch them support each other, love each other, and get to this stage, and now to have this together, I'm very happy for them.
Did we just hear a best man speech?
We just heard a best man speech.
I'm gonna fire up something a lot better. We're gonna do a lot more planning.
Yeah.
I gotta be good. I gotta be good at this. Well, first of all, hopefully I'm the best man. We'll see. Trav has a lot of friends.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping to get the opportunity.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we'll be there.
We'll be come on, let's go, guys. Let's go, boys.
Big Jag, you're going, right? Yeah.
So do a Bussin',
it'll be fun.
a Bussin' episode live from the.
We'll live stream it. Well, this is we'll just live stream this wedding. No,
Was there ever a part of you as big bro just seeing catching Kelce, the stuff with Trav, the party animal that he is? Like, is he ever gonna find somebody?
No, because I think I never lost like hope that would happen. I think he's just, I think you're young, you're having fun, you're figuring things out. I mean, like I said, I didn't even know how to talk to girls till I was like in the NFL, and I still don't even know if I knew how to talk to girls in the NFL. I was an NFL player, so now they wanted to talk to me.
So I felt a little more comfortable.
It became a lot easier. I don't know if I ever got better at it. I'd probably still suck at it. But I think, at all times, I know my brother's intentions and who he is as a person and the values that my parents raised him with, and, how he treats people, how he treats women, all of these things. And eventually, I think it works out when you go through life with that. And not for everybody. I don't want to draw too many of that, but like he lives his life the right way. He's a great person. He's unselfish. Everything he does, I think, would lead to him finding somebody that would want to be with him for all the right reasons and more.
I love that, man.
God, that is awesome. Did you expect
good family talk?
Great family talk. Did you? Whatever. We got to roll.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Bud Light question.
Bud Light question.
Jason, you know that anybody.
He knows too.
He understands. Anyone
He
would
gets
do
it.
anything for an ice cold, crisp Bud Light. What is something that Jason Kelce would do anything for?
Ice cold beer. I'm not going to turn that down one bit. I got a very embarrassing story from last night about beer.
Okay. All right.
So I'm drinking beer. I'm not really hammering them. I'm just kind of putting, one back every, 30 minutes or something. Just kind of enjoying beers last night. And about, I think it was third quarter, I find out that I've been drinking non-alcoholic beer the entire game. This is the most amount of shame I've ever felt in myself.
Really?
Yeah. I was just like, the fuck is wrong with you, Jason?
Who was the person that tapped in the shoulders and hey, just so you know?
Taylor.
Oh, no shit.
Because she said Travis had just been doing the same thing, and he's ashamed. I'm like, time out, Travis, there's non-alcoholic beer here? We had both been drinking these
Budweiser Zeros.
thinking they were just some like 0 calorie
Budweiser.
Not thinking it was
Making
zero.
the right choice.
Yeah. I'm just like, I just wasted 3/4 of my life. I just say, what the fuck just happened?
That is so funny.
I was so ashamed. Anyways, so what was the question?
What is something you would do anything for? You can't say family.
What is anything I would
do
for
anything for?
And not family?
Can't say family.
I would give. Oh man, I don't know. That's a great question. Do I, in this hypothetical scenario, or do I? Am I currently in the state I am? Like, do I get like?
You can go back if
I go back in time. I would go back out on the field in a heartbeat. I think I would give anything to be able to play football again. And I don't think I can do that anymore. But I'd like thoroughly miss being out there with the guys and playing the game. And I know that's a very not exciting answer, but I think that's the first thing that popped into my head. I mean, I cherish the time out there with the guys. And again, like I when you're in it, you hate going through the grind of training camp and like we did 2 days in high school and college, but you know, you hate those moments. But then when you're done, you like, those are the ones that you kind of miss. Like I miss, you know, being my shoulder hurting and being bloody and like trying to fight through a practice. Like I miss my shoes squeaking with sweat out of them while I'm like walking across the field.
Yeah,
like it's weird. It's I don't know. Maybe I'm like a masochist and I don't even know it, but like
hearing what an injury should do to you and thinking to myself, I'm going to I take this
seriously
as a challenge.
Yeah. I'm going to fucking go out there anyways and see if I can get it done. I'm not.
They're saying 6
down.
weeks. I'm going to show them how I'll be back in 3.
Yeah, I did that with a sports training. It was really stupid.
Dude, how about the feeling of after like the longest morning practice and you just get done, you're back in the locker room, your shoes aren't even off yet, but you know like this is the longest time you'll have till the next practice, and that weight just being completely off your shoulders.
Yes. Yeah.
And everyone gets that hour and a half to kind of goof off and fuck around.
Yeah.
That is something you miss.
Or just having fun with the boys with the potential rumor that, are we not going to have a walkthrough in the afternoon? Dude, are we hearing about a movie?
Yes.
Is he going to let us go home?
Are we going to a water park?
Yeah.
Yeah. Your wife's out of town? Yeah.
I heard they got buses outside. I saw them.
Every year, like the second week of camp, I would go and like whisper to like a rookie and be like, hey, last year we did this. It's right around this time. I'm hearing rumors that there's a movie day. We're getting practice. And I would lay that one
Leaks
thing
to
there.
the team.
By the time we started practice, 15 other guys would come to me and be like, I heard there's a movie day today. And I'm like, oh, no shit, really?
Well, that's a vet move too, because there were guys that Connor Barr would do something very similar, and you would get that little rumor started. And I don't even know if the coaches wanted to do it, but then the rumors get started, and they're like, oh, now if we don't have a movie day, it's going to be upsetting the guys.
Yeah,
bro, I think we're going to have a movie day now.
We got to have a movie day. It would never work like that.
Braves in a row.
No, I was going to say, I'm thinking that would be iconic.
That'd be insane. There was one
Braves
year.
would be like, hate to burst your fucking bubble. We're practicing.
No. So he brought us up.
So we doing
there was
half
all these
pads?
rumors swirling. He brought us up before, and he's like, I heard a lot of stuff about movies. I don't know who the fuck told you guys that. We're not doing a movie day. We're getting to work. Actually, put the ball down right now.
We're also not in just shells. It's full pads.
That's great.
Yeah. Dude, we appreciate you coming on.
No, thanks for having me.
Jason, man, thank you, bro. Yes, sir.
Thanks, guys.
It's been a long time coming.
Has been.
Long time coming. Now, there will be one more Beer Olympics.
There technically has to be. Okay, one more Beer Olympics.
One more.
Where? When is it? Is it always scheduled during the same time I'm doing mine, or are we doing?
Oh, yeah.
Should we collab?
So mine is our event down the shore that week is always the week before July 4th. So it is always going to be whatever, because we get the bar that we do our thing at the Wednesday before July 4th week for the way that their whole season schedules. So I think that's like June 25th or 4th or something like that this year. So as long as it doesn't interfere with that week, I would love to be a part of it.
It might be worth just
figure something out. My brain's working right now.
You guys we're going to team up and just do it? That makes sense.
That's what I'm
Why
saying.
haven't we thought about that?
Yeah.
Instead of just trying to make two different
just
binge
do one
drinking days work.
Because I know there's
Are you guys open to doing it down the shore and doing some stuff for charity for Eagles Autism?
I was gonna say I know you got
that's
like
a big part of ours.
Yeah,
Will's
you got like a
He's not a
charitable.
big charity guy, but I'll talk him into it. Yeah, he's always like, "Fuck the kids." I'll make sure to dial it in.
I was thinking like I know there's a charity
great.
aspect, but I'm sure there's something that we could figure out.
Yeah, really, we just do it in my
Something we could
backyard.
do.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I guess we could just do a charity thing. And sorry to spit on you. We could probably make it more
Yeah, if we
beneficial
like
to the
go
rest
out
of
to
the world.
the shore. Yeah. I'm sure there's stuff that we could do, but yeah, I feel like it's sitting right in front of us, boys.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, we want to enjoy some cold beers and have some fun.
Have some fun. Settle, chug a couple. Get after it.
What else would you rather?
There-
What was the question
there
again?
is-
What else would you rather have than an ice cold crisp?
Bud Light.
I can't say it.
Bud
Dude, thank you for coming on.
Yeah,
I
thank
can't
you,
wait.
bro. You're the man,
Appreciate
Jason.
Oh, yeah.